All right. I'm still in the middle of eating. You know, I just got off work not too long ago, so join me with you in a snack. I'll try not to eat into the mic, or I'll mute the mic. But hey, Wordman over on Twitch. Anyone else is lurking, welcome. I'm just finishing up some cheap ass McDonald's. And we still had some plastic straws left over because I think she forgot to give you one. I'm not sure, but I'll take what I can get. How's everyone doing tonight? Oh, should show off. New tech. Well, not new tech, but new device. So my current arm was breaking. And breaking bad. Haha. So I went and researched and I found out the Elgato was here locally. So I could get it right away instead of having to order it through Amazon. Now, cool thing is that because of the place I work, I got a discount, and plus because I'm such a good employee, I ended up getting a gift card. So this literally cost me half of what it normally is. Like this was like 140 normally. I got it for 60. So I got the Elgato Wave Link or Wave Mic arm, and let me tell you, like this thing stays in place. It moves around freely, and like I've been wanting a mic arm for this, like this, for a very long time. Because everyone I get, it claims to do all that stuff, and then it's like, no, it has to like stay exactly where it is. So everything's tight, it moves, and it gets to stay on that spot. So yeah, so I didn't feel like playing a game tonight because I'm not going to do any serious playthrough until Thursday when Donkey Kong Country Returns comes out. That's next on the docket. So we're going to go and put more of the Gundam together tonight. And also try our best to finish off the June the King documentary. And if we finish it off, then we'll have something else in place. I'm just gonna move my mic away for a sec, just so I can finish up eating. You don't want to hear this smacking here. Worth playing Echoes of Wisdom? Nice. One of the shorter Zelda games I played. Oh, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Happy you're home.
Wasn't gone for long.
I know, but
4-hour
still, I had a good time just having a little alone time, but I still kind of missed you.
I would hope so.
I'm just happy everything went well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was a little worried once we were looking like 20 minutes to 9, so that's when I got worried.
Well, I told you I was going to be a little late there.
Yeah, but I didn't realize how late.
Yeah. Well, another thing too is that at the drugstore, I noticed that they do photos for passports, and we kind of were looking to get ours updated. It's $24.99. It's like, oh, get your photo and passport done here. I said, oh, and you can do everything here? She's like, no. You still have to go to the government. I said, okay, fair enough. But she's like, oh no, she gave me so much information. She was like, and she was in the middle of like doing like someone else's photos. So I was just like, oh no, I was just getting general information now. But they say if we go to Freddie, that they usually will ask if we have a travel date in mind to kind of help expedite the process.
We could always just say in
but it's going to be a renewal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it is going to be in June for sure. Now, whether we go wherever.
Yep.
We still haven't determined yet.
If we can afford it too.
Yeah.
Why is the light on in the cold room?
The light's on in the cold room?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did we forget to turn it off?
I must have. Ah, well.
Off now.
Yep. Oh, hey, Ross, what's up? This is a track from 8. It is. I just can't remember what. Jailed. This is at the beginning of disc. This is the beginning of disc 2 after the Squall gets stabbed in the chest with a ice pellet from Ida.
I heard jail is that you do not collect $200. Good day, sir.
But Fez, I said good day. No, this is the beginning of disc 2 on Final Fantasy 8. That's where I listened to.
I think I should do like on my disc.
You can say Squall got iced.
Get iced, bro.
What are you guys doing? Shut up, Brittany.
So you got two ectos, so definitely mine are still in the case, so.
Oh yeah, my ectos are the two, like ecto 1 and ecto 2.
Yeah, I see that. Weird, the ecto 1 is much better than the
Ross said hi and bye. Did I ever use Ada's limit break? I don't remember. Well, if I ever play remaster, I'll try it out because we can just turn on. We can always turn that shit on. Rotten Ronnies. You feel good eating it and then you feel terrible afterwards, but yeah, it can be. But yeah, also to say shout outs to that nice worker at the drugstore. I just was casually asking her about the photo and she just gave me so much information, was so helpful about everything. And she was super nice. Gigantic smile on her face the whole time too. I mean, it's like extremely rare that I ever get like bad customer service or just like people that could give less of a fuck for being at their job. Like I usually get generally nice people everywhere, and I always like to pay that forward too. Like if I'm in a bad mood at my work, I make sure not to either show it or don't even show up for work. Excuse me. not Scott Steiner. No, holla if you hear me. Or
He's fat.
oh yeah, I got the soundboard all ready to go for this. Oh, and thank you, JonTron, for the brand new sound alert. If y'all watched his new video,
Do not come. Do not come. Come.
you watched him horse? Yeah, do not come. Do not come. So what do we have on this here? You know what? I'll show you my. That way you'll know which is which. So I'll open my all right, hold on. Yeah, this is my. Oh, I forgot to. No, I don't want Streamlabs open. Shut up. Okay, change it while I'm live. Oh, I don't think I'm that plug in locked in. Okay, yeah. So yeah, here's my soundboard. So like, this is just for general stream control, which I haven't set up yet. This is obviously game days for good. So I have the clock timer and all that set up. But yeah, we're gonna go through the one by one. Oh, Elsa, hi. You can see my other hand here. This is not the screen I'm gonna be using, but yeah, of course we got Biggie. We know that this one is.
Big meaty man slapping meat.
You got Magneto. And then you got the first JonTron.
Do not come. Do not come.
And you got a little Phil here, but this is also JonTron.
Phil, you make me angry, Phil.
Not the right Phil, but we still need it. And then, of course,
That's a lot of damage.
this one we're going to be using a lot tonight, if he speaks.
Look,
Look, I'll show you the cursor there. Yeah. Of course, we got our air horns. And this I use whenever I have to block someone.
Deleted.
Big ups Injured Cole for this one. This one I might get rid of there, the Kirby Death one, but... Yeah, this one I always like, Cartman. Oh. Wordman with the 50-bit summoning his stupid soundboard, which he has not used. He has this old one. Like the but he does not use the Phil's Ray Roth. He doesn't use Phil's Day Off. I don't think so. No, he didn't have a day off yesterday. Day off Saturday. I was gonna check the pre-stream later, but
I hate you! I want you to die! Get on with it! Yes! Get on with it!
This one I spam a lot whenever we have little jokes.
I get it.
But yeah, we gotta have our Kevin Nash.
oh yeah, I got this. What a pittance.
What a pittance. Yeah, man getting hit by football. Now I'd like to introduce you to my best friend in the whole wide world.
Mr. Black.
I want you to treat
Mr. Black.
with the same respect you'd show me. Now here's...
Mr. Black.
Do you know what I am saying?
Which was the style at the time?
And of course I got my alerts one there. Big win. Big fail. Get your gnome. Get anime wow. Although I think I might need a little louder one on that one. Yeah. The alert.
He's fat.
Because one of my ultimate favorites.
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
Being stupid. I downloaded a plugin that's supposed to get rid of my desktop icons. Not that I'm ashamed or anything, but you know, it's just something I want to get rid of. But no, they're not on there. All right. And that's not what I want. All right. So we're back on the eternal downfall of Darkseid Fell. Let me put the camera on here. We'll get the Gundam out. What's in between Mole Man and Law and Order? Mole Man and Law and Order. Oh, I didn't hit Law and Order. Oh no, that's Krusty. That's
Mr. Black.
Mr. Black. Ah, there's two of me. All right. You can see my glorious CM Punk shirt, which ripped CM Punk's AEW merch. All the remnants that's left. Love to get some WWE CM Punk merch, but god damn it if it's not super expensive over at like a block Hot Topic. I almost said Block Topic. All right. So where we last left off with the Wing Gundam, we had finished his torso. Now we're gonna work on his arms. So there he is, right there, in all of his broken ass glory. Okay, so I'm trying to remember where we last left off on. Oh Jesus! Camera's too top heavy. There we go. All right. So we were last left off on June the King, and I don't have it on the right speed. Let me fix that. Playback speed 1.35. That's good. Closed captioning is on.
Alan Wake montage that the patrons voted for would also be canceled after a single episode.
Oh, good. The power went out. I'm not even kidding you.
Almost as if it was retaliatory, fan art that Phil used in his videos was being used to illegitimately strike his channels. To avoid further strikes, he deleted the videos that...
What?
I was just saying you should save that for another time, scene.
Oh, this here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the second scene. I just made this.
Oh.
Make it a lot easier just to have like, okay, the YouTube, what we're watching is up here, I'm here, and then the webcam's over there.
And
if we want to flip it, I can
probably put chat right there or...
Yeah.
But, yeah, you still got a lot of work to do. And let me take a look.
At what?
Yeah, your model.
Oh, the model? Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, this piece always coming off there. I might have to glue that, but...
Well, that's all right. I mean, I did bring a little bit of this. We got 2 little containers of super glue.
Yeah, we got something there. Did I get the Hell Froze Over shirt yet? I don't have any, like, new CM Punk merch. I didn't get anything from it.
Yeah.
That include the art.
Saving.
Oh, yeah, so this is the Be Awesome One Copy of Shike saga.
I see.
So, big ups Be Awesome One. It's attracted through and through. Made fan art for him. Realized he was a dick, as we all do. Decided to strike his channel. So, and also this came up earlier on through another like from years ago. What's this, 2015? Yeah, 2013, 2014. Another YouTuber who was fairly big and actually has like videos in like the hundreds of millions told Phil, do not delete these videos. Do not private them or unlist them, because that's considered lost view and lost revenue, and that will fuck you up and take you out of the algorithm. And what did Phil do? Well, you'll see.
Art, which amounted to 600 videos off his channel. This amounted to around 4 million views removed, and on Social Blade, it showed that for the month of August, he netted a total of negative 1.37 million views. That's why in November, he insisted that through a strange, unverifiable string of events, that this deletion of views was causing a drop-off in his channel.
Going a little too fast.
In this near 44-minute, long-winded video, Phil recounts to his audience that it was machinima.
Long-winded. I always love how Juna King's like long-winded video. It's just like, yeah, he doesn't get to the fucking point.
That instructed him to delete those 600 videos that caused a small dent in his total viewership. but does not provide evidence of Machinima doing so because he claims he was instructed via a conference call. Then he claims an anonymous insider told Phil that this subtraction of views brought him down in the invisible total rankings and that YouTube was still using that archaic system of promoting videos via their channel's total accumulated views. The only thing is that all existing evidence works against him. The strongest evidence is in his Social Blade. Contrary to what he is stating, he has had far worse drop-offs in views, and actually late 2015 were the most stable than they'd ever been. For November of 2011, he was losing over 1 million viewers on a daily basis. Yet now, in late 2015, he was worried about a small fluctuation of around 200,000 viewers. What's more, the deleted views against Phil's total views would have been so insignificant, it would have no effect on his channel. Then again, there is a benefit in framing this natural downward trend as an emergency.
But when this shit happens with YouTube and I have no control over it, I need your help. And if you really want to help, Patreon's the way. $1 a month.
This hardly helped his Patreon that was already being scrutinized due to his unfulfilling of initial goals. And more than just his patrons.
Sorry, I love that. It's just like, I need your help today. Pledge to Patreon. Patreon did not help. I love when he has a clip of Phil saying something and then it's just like, this did not help him.
Were distrusting of Phil. On Thanksgiving 2015, Phil uploaded an Ask the King episode where he answered fan questions. Fans seeking an update on John Rambo asked Phil where he stood with him.
I hope that people don't take this the wrong way, but in life, if you have something that you want to say or you have an issue with someone, all right, say it, bring it up, hash it out. If something happens and you don't bring it up and you let resentment build up, that's when relationships get ruined, right?
Fans unsated with Phil's answer, like with the relaunch of Project 7, were reaching out to John Rambo on Thanksgiving to ask how he felt about Phil. 2 days later, on November 28th, they, including Phil, were given their answer.
Hello. I'm
John.
And I'm joined by...
Howard.
This was the same podcast that was used earlier in this video that talked about the production of Project 7. John Rambo decided to upload this to a separate channel and then deleted it about a day after. Then it was re-uploaded in perpetuity by channels archiving the material. And so in permanence was this about hour-and-a-half podcast of evidence where John Rambo details his falling out with Phil. From Phil unfollowing him on Twitter, to Phil drunkenly messaging him late at night while watching their Let's Plays and not calling him even though John Rambo said he preferred that over text. It was all this, plus other minute issues like merchandise both parties invested in, Phil's susceptibility to trolling, his self-destructive tendencies, and other private elements that caused his falling out. At the end, John Rambo offers an olive branch by stating that a phone call could fix this. But Phil never did call. And so Phil lost touch with the last friend he had. Not even a month later, now closing 2015, Machinima informed Phil that they would no longer honor the $2 CPM contract and would instead swap to paying him with the raw ads, which would further decrease his earning potential. Everything appeared to be working against him, and the idea that was meant to breathe life into his channel did not come. What did come was something else.
Do not come. Do not come.
What is up, everyone? Hello, and welcome. Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh?
Phil attempted to dismiss what he was doing by saying he was doing quote-unquote various stuff like scratching his leg. The bombardment of memes and other media would not allow Phil to dismiss this so easily. It was already clear that he was pleasuring himself on stream and forgot to turn the camera off. Keemstar, the owner of Drama Alert, a trending drama channel at the time, quickly picked up the story. It was then that Phil came clean and admitted to what he was doing. After Drama Alert and the internet as a whole spread the news, Darkside Phil would be known, above all else, for this. A new nickname was passed around as DSP would be known as The Guy.
You didn't even know the camera was on.
You know every inch of my dick balls, right?
Because in theoretical conversation, when one introduces the subject of Darkside Phil, the other participant would respond with, "Is that the guy that pleasured himself on stream?" Phil handled this remarkably well, making jokes about it and accepting his new identity in stride.
You're absolutely right. That's what I'm known for.
You got exposed for doing that.
I got completely exposed.
His partners and Machinima were not so enthused, and sought to take down any re-upload they could find of the event. Whatever goodwill Phil had gained through the acceptance of this recent event was quickly lost. In this single post on his forums, he insults 3 different creators who have audiences larger than his. He calls Total Biscuit's reviews overanalyzing, calls Jim Sterling's reviews that fool you into thinking they're intelligent with fancy wording, and Angry Joe's reviews bloated with skits and cosplay for kiddies to retain attention. The cherry on top was the...
Hey, I ain't a fan of Angry Joe either, but his third... Yeah, he was scratching his leg, his third leg.
I get it!
I gotta reposition my... Yeah, this is better. Yeah. Oh, this was the perfect chance. This is the perfect opportunity to get...
Do not come. Do not come.
purpose of this post was to represent his own views as superior. Quote, or if you actually want an honest review from an honest guy who's played video games all his life, has a huge wealth of experience / knowledge to draw.
That's a lie. You know nothing about video games. You actively have to ask chat about everything.
Upon, and doesn't have any bias towards anything, you can watch my review, unquote. Persisting on this path of self-destruction, the following month, Phil made an Instagram post calling PewDiePie's new book meaningless for brain-dead idiots. This produced a response from PewDiePie, who simply responded with, quote, DSP upset he can't read, unquote. The source of Phil's frustration was his continued bleeding of views. He was jealous, and over several posts on his forums, relentlessly defended the idea that not editing his Let's Plays is what made him popular, while simultaneously furious at being disadvantaged, stating that the only barrier between him and hiring an editor is money. There was something different in Phil going on here. A panic, a lashing out, a misrepresentation of the truth. Not to trick his viewership, but to try to fool himself. He was not concocting long-standing lies that would reach various people or form some campaign of misinformation or unverifiable fact. He was arguing with individual members on his forums with multi-paragraph long responses. As the users had grown accustomed to, Phil was blaming "this is how you don't plays" for his failings, calling them slanderous. A user of his chat was even banned for stating that they enjoyed their job and wouldn't prefer streaming. Phil was fighting with the very concept that the loss of viewership was his fault. It's a wonder what this fight with reality was doing to him. Out of his continued desperation, he was back on Twitch asking for more paid subscribers. Phil's loss of viewership had him left with the most dedicated supporters and detractors watching his streams. The worst part for Phil was this balancing act between dismissing detractors and appeasing supporters. Quote, I seriously need to start convincing people that YouTube isn't going to support me anymore, so they need to pledge a Patreon and or sub, give bits here. Because at this rate, it's a joke. I'm on pace to make half as much in December this year as I did last year, playing 4 new games. Just got a notification my bank account is overdrawn. Locally, my machinima payment is literally coming through today, unquote. To add salt to the wound, the infamous clip of Phil was strong in circulation even at the end of 2016.
That face.
2017 started just as bad for Phil, as he announced that he had been renting his condo out in Connecticut.
Hang on. I had to see what that face. Who said that face? Oh, it's PewDiePie.
Even at the end of 2016.
That face.
2017 started just as bad for Phil, as he announced that he had been renting his condo out in Connecticut, but that was no longer the case. More would be lost this year than any other. On February 26th,
yeah, the reason that he stopped renting out his condo is because his aunt passed away. He was renting it out to his aunt. And then when she died, there went all that income. I think he basically they foreclosed on it. I can't confirm. I can't remember.
2017, Phil participated with his viewers in a game of Quiplash 2. A game with pre-established questions that could be answered in any way. The goal is to win the favor of the competitors with the most compelling answer. This quickly delved into the memes both surface level and personal around Phil. For example, his seal laugh or ack ack ack.
DSP tries a KFC grilled chicken or make more ad revenue than Phil. Cow bark or ag 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 ag. They're both good.
None of these had any major effect as Phil played along with the roasts. It wasn't until a player shoehorned in an answer that caused chaos.
Leanna, I don't even know what that means. Leanna's fake engagement ring. Huh? What does that mean? I never gave her an engagement ring.
Oh, I don't have what are you talking about on my soundboard.
Is there something in the detractor circles about a fake engagement ring?
So
what are you talking about?
detractor circle?
I didn't give her an engagement ring. What? People are weird. What does that even mean? There's some stupid inside joke that I don't understand. What does that mean? It won, and it makes no sense whatsoever to anyone who's not into your inclusive circle jerking circle. That made no sense at all.
Inclusive circle jerking.
Is there actually like some kind of a joke about an engagement ring? Huh?
Huh?
Anna
What?
posted it on her own Twitter. What are you talking about? It's about one of her Twitter pictures? What are you talking about? That's hilarious because that just shows
What
how
are you talking
mind-fucked
about?
and stupid the people are who do this shit. These detractor idiots. Because no human would know what the fuck they're talking about. It's some completely inside joke they made up for themselves that no one would know anything about at all. It doesn't make any sense. It makes zero fucking sense. And yet it ends up being the big winner at the end of the game. That's so fucking stupid.
As was revealed to Phil through a video game, Panda Lee had been wearing a fake engagement ring to her job. Dissatisfied in the relationship and the lack of progress towards marriage, this was her way of lashing out and participating in the drama on Twitter. Quote, "Oh shit, he knows about the fake engagement ring I wear to work that I wear all the time? How could he have known?" Unquote. Panda Lee then posted the ring itself, captioned with Ringgate 2017. Panda Lee allegedly also took off work to experience the live drama that was unfolding. With her displeasure with Phil near its climax, it was a surprise they did not separate there. In the limelight instead was Machinima, with the apocalypse in full swing,
DSP
earnings
release.
down,
Hi,
and the
Lena,
company
how
model
are
a
you?
complete failure. They had less support to answer creators
building
who were
a
feeling the
Gundam,
brunt
though.
of the loss of ad revenue. Phil, being one of these creators, reached out, but Machinima was slow to answer. And so he was emailing not just former employees that had been fired without his knowledge, but emergency contacts meant for dire situations.
That was a little too loud there.
That's when on February 28th, a Machinima employee reached out to Phil and gave him the basic advice to increase his audience retention and kindly to not message other departments. Phil's full, alleged response was locked in on Machinima's request to not message other departments. Phil used his history with the company as a reason to act in the way he pleases and demands better treatment. If he is not treated better, he states he is better off not working with them. Machinima, more than happy to oblige, released Phil from the contract. After all, per their
gonna take my
contract,
business
they were
elsewhere.
only losing
Okay,
money with
see ya.
Phil because he was earning 100% of the ad revenue. Phil was relating this moment to when he got fired from his office job in 2010. As seen per Fred Fox capturing of Phil's Twitch chats, Phil was
Fred
acting
Fox.
as if he was blindsided by his own
But Phil's
requests,
on the bigger
stating,
screen?
Quote, "There is no 2 or 1 month notice. That is complete BS, lol. But this situation..."
Oh, wait a minute. Is Penta wrestling Chad Gable? That was kind of the rumor going around. Alright, I gotta find E1, E2, 13, and 14. And that times 2. Alright.
Situation is pretty unique. Unquote. In a video released shortly after, Phil dissects the separation of Machinima, then dissects it again and again and again, then loses
Ad
train of
nauseam.
thought, thanks his followers, asks for donations, and again restates what has been overtly established, yet never provides a satisfactory answer. That's why his video is nearly 2 hours long to explain that the contract with Machinima has been terminated. And as per the description, quote, "I cannot give all the details, but in this video I explain what's going on," unquote. This is all
I
beyond
can't tell you
minutia.
everything, but I'm
Yet
gonna just
besides
run around in
Phil's
circles to try and tell you
uncredibleness or his
everything.
honest nature is why few would ever care for his side of the events. His long-windedness buries his own reasoning or retelling of events even further than his several uploads a day do. For any controversial moment, Phil is certain to extend what should be a clear and concise response into a multi-page long essay or hour-long video. It took about 10 days or so for Phil's channel to be fully released. And then, it took about an additional week for him to fight various content ID claims himself, as would normally be the responsibility of Machinima.
Yeah, but don't
Phil
worry,
was
Lena,
quick
like,
to find a
once we're
different
done this, we will
multi-channel
watch
network to
something
partner
else.
with. This time, it was Curse. Unlike Machinima, who was trying to inflate the numbers, Curse did not give Phil a 100% cut of ad revenue, nor was he in a managed partnership. This means that they would not be responsible for his 30 or so content ID claims that he was getting a day on his 40,000 uploaded videos. The ongoing developments of 2017 were...
God, look at those thumbnails. Oh, yeah. Here's the... like, Derek, you fucking idiot. Like, Phil, you can swear up and down that Derek wasn't helping you with these, but like, why is there so much space in your DSP versus the internet? That should, like, did you honestly think that these were high quality thumbnails, or you just don't give a fuck? Like, look how much empty space there is there. Like, someone should have told Derek to either increase your fat ass head or put your goddamn logo in that empty. There's so much empty space there. Like, what the fuck, dude? But no, Derek couldn't be too bothered to do that because
Do not come. Do not come.
he was cooming all night.
Scarcely predictable.
Anyways.
In April, Phil submitted to Panelle's request, and per her Instagram post, we're now engaged.
I guess
The
I got
detractors'
engaged.
Persistent monitoring allowed them to find the ring almost immediately. It was one that Panelle personally liked on her Black Currant account, which is the name of her soap-making business. Detractors, tracing this back to Amazon, found that Phil had spent on the lower end for this ring. A testament to his detractors' obsession and or Phil's dwindling finances. By May, Phil had concluded a 2-month-long talk with a different network that introduced themselves as Poltavi. They offered Phil a cut similar to Curse and a managed partnership. And while he found Poltavi unprofessional in their exchanges, he found their offer to be too enticing to give up, and severed his partnership with Curse, though Phil had made a great mistake. Poltavi's unprofessional nature was foreboding, and they quickly turned around and disregarded the partnered element. With all this happening in the background, the sons of Kojima found out through Phil's channel's source page that he had a new partnership. Not with Curse or even Poltavi as Phil understood it. He was partnered with an entirely new network known as Leveria Media, and as revealed, was using Poltavi as a front to disguise their own network and shady practices. The CEO was found to be just a student at a university. Phil, understanding his mistake, sought to leave his new network. The sons of Kojima allegedly even got the CEO of Leveria Media on for one of their podcasts. This was a confusing set of events for everyone involved. While all this was going on, Phil was in the process of purchasing a new car. For the past 6 years, he had been leasing a BMW. In the last 3 years, he had only driven the BMW 6,000 miles, and so never changed the oil.
Yeah, BMW is supposed to get maintenance for free, no matter what. That's part of the deal. That's why the car is so expensive. And they never contacted us to get it changed.
Phil's audience, along
Phil, you make me angry, Phil.
No one told me I was supposed to change the oil. So much empty space, just like Phil's big fat head. Yep.
understood he was financially illiterate, but hadn't been yet exposed to how illiterate he was with cars or the contracts related to them. That's why, whenever other content creators discover both, it makes for an interesting watch.
In 3 years, we only drove the car 6,000 miles. So if that gives you any idea.
Hey, what? He leased a car for $400 or $500 a month, and he's only drove it 6,000 miles.
Oh, hi, Destiny. Here's a guy that's kind of gone down the rabbit hole now. I don't understand how, like, why can't people have normal relationships on the internet? Look, like, nothing against it. Like, if you want to be in a polyamorous or whatever multiple partner relationship, good on you. If you somehow can make it work, go for it. But don't be surprised if you are a public figure, you're gonna get your ass called out on the internet.
In 3 years? What?
Cherry Dude's like, oh, you could have engine damage. Now, Cherry Dude, that's not how it works. BMW has a diagnosis computer inside of the car that tells you when things go wrong. So if there were engine damage...
Oh my god! Hey, this guy's a living meme! No, it's not. BMW has diagnosis computer in the car, okay?
And they never contacted us to get it changed.
Why would they contact you to change your oil?
Destiny, the person reacting to Phil's explanation, calls Phil the salesman stream. Wanting to help Phil out, Destiny jumped onto Phil's stream and began typing in his chat, attempting to provide financial advice. Phil, of course, ignored this, and on his forums he posted, quote, Destiny, a Twitch streamer who I never even heard of before 2 weeks ago, came into my chat and practically begged me to stop what I'm doing and talk with him. What the fuck can this guy tell me about buying cars that I don't already know? This guy probably didn't know I went to school for finance. Unquote. Phil, still in the mindset of discussing the drama around the networks, was talking about it on stream.
I trusted YouTube system to work properly, okay? Here's what happened. So
that was your first mistake.
I think Monday morning or whatever, okay? I think, uh-oh. Hold on one second, everybody.
Oh no. I give her a pill. I don't think June puts the whole conversation on that. Remind me later if you guys want. I'll find the animated short that someone did of the whole experience. The whole give her a pill. Leave her off the sidewalk.
Folks, I've got a family emergency. It came out of nowhere, and I have to deal with it now. So guess what? Sadly, the podcast has to end. I can't finish my story right now.
Phil had received a call for Panda Lee's job. She had experienced an anxiety attack and was being driven to the hospital by paramedics. Phil then met her at the hospital after picking up her car. He found her in a sedated state, and after a 3-hour-long wait, they released her with no additional treatment. Frustrated at the lack of attentiveness, Phil said,
So now she's zonked out. She's sleeping, in the room because of, everything. She's still on the pills made her all loopy or whatever. So, and we did on the way home. I stopped and we got food. We grabbed like chicken sandwiches and we just ate them, and now she's sleeping. So that's what happened. Unbelievable. Like, oh my God. The thing is, I know if this ever happens again, I'm gonna tell him you are not allowed to bring her to the hospital. No, you get no permission to fucking do it. You can't give her a pill. You want to give her a pill, give her a pill, and that's it, because you're just gonna waste our time again.
Give her a pill, leave her on the
To
side.
some, this looked like Phil was dismissing Panda Lee's issues or minimizing them, which is what he was now getting backlash for. What they didn't know is that Phil and Panda Lee had broken up some time before the anxiety attack, which is also a possible factor that may have induced it.
Also, too, and Phil freely admitted this, that they had been broken up, but she was still wearing the ring, and because he's such a dick, was asking all these stupid questions like, "Do I really have to be here? You couldn't have called someone else?" She apparently took the ring off and handed it to him right then and there, and he's like, and he was still like, "What the fuck did I do? I was the attentive friend here." It was like, dude, you don't pick up on fucking social cues, for God's sakes.
He announced this at the end of May. Now, for the first time ever, Phil was in Washington in complete isolation. Mockingly, a few dating adverts were made to remedy his newfound loneliness. Then there was a song request.
89.7 KACC, we got a dedication in. these kids and their names, I swear. So, Darkside Phil wants to dedicate a song to Panda Lee. He wants to dedicate Baby Come Back by Player. I don't know what to say, guys. Okay, so, anyway, here's Baby Come Back by Player, and they actually wanted me to say Baby Come Back, I don't get it. I really don't get it with these kids. But yes, Darkside Phil, here's your dedication to Panda Lee.
In many ways, Phil was defeated, but he would not be Phil if he was
Baby,
persistent
come back,
in getting others to
act.
dislike him. On his Twitch chat, a place only the current viewers are meant to see, Phil, in jealousy of popular creator
Oh,
iJustine,
Seamus time.
quote, iJustine is busy getting gangbanged by EA executive staff all weekend. The only fucking reason she was actually hired in the first place, lol.
Oh my
unquote.
God.
Prominent detractor accounts took this screenshot and were quick to not only spread it on Twitter, but also tag iJustine in it. To much surprise, iJustine responded, quote, why don't you stop spamming everyone? He clearly has issues, unquote. And Phil did have issues. For 10 years, Phil has had a dream job meant to provide steady, easy income, while allowing one to work within their own set hours. Phil, on the other hand, had nothing to show for his near-decade-long residence. The stinking fact was he lost far more than he gained, and for a period, he seemed starkly aware. Quote, I haven't had real in-person social interaction on a regular basis since like 2007, before YouTube started. Once I started YouTube...
What about all the conventions you went to? PAX and Too Many Games and SGC. I mean, like, Craig himself apparently said that you begged Craig to go to SGC that one year. Oh yeah, apparently, like, seeing as how like Craig has nothing better to do since he's like, stealing money from people for an award show that will never happen in person, toward games that they'll never play. Apparently he brought up Phil again today, and Blabs, rightfully so, was just like, shut up, stop talking about it. We have enough to do with grifting on video games. Do we really need to bring Darkside fucking Phil back into our lives? And I agree, you have better things to do, but you choose to be a grifting podcast, so good on you.
Deleted.
But that all went away. That's part of the sacrifices I keep bringing up to make this work. I can't have regular friends with the amount of time I put into this job. When I lived in CT, I had tons of money. As soon as I moved out here, poof, gone, unquote. It is clear that he regrets his move, but he cannot accept it is his fault. That's when people ask if he maintains social relationships. Quote, I talk to tons of people on a daily basis. A user then asks, I mean like relationships or friends outside of Twitch. Phil responds, I don't have time for in-person friends. I'm constantly working. You realize I haven't had a day off since my time off in July, right? This is my life, and has been for quite a long time before I moved out here. Then it got better for 3 years living with my ex. But now I'm back to square one, really. Unquote. As recoiled as Phil was, dealing with persistent copyright strikes and whatever else his life brought him, he clung onto whatever was left of his following. Typical in periods lacking interest, trolls are more likely to find entertainment from consuming one another. The reality of communities like the one that works against DSP is that they are far more nuanced that they lead on. From the outside looking in, the detractor community is powerful in coordinating their campaigns against Phil. In actuality, it is very divided. Some hate Phil, some just want to catch up periodically. The majority don't interact in any way. These differences create cyclical arguments. For example, those wanting no universal interaction with Phil. Some reasons may lie in entertainment, as Phil's passive failings tend to be the most entertaining.
Yeah, that was a great point that like Snoot and Indrid brought up. And I want to say Lenda Derange also brought up as well. When they're like, and this is the perfect question to ask me too. It's just like, hey, why do you follow Phil? Why do you give a shit what he does? It's my entertainment. Like, honestly, like it's my trash reality show. I don't watch Survivor. I don't watch Bachelor or Bachelorette. I don't watch any reality TV. To me, this is one of the best reality TV shows you could ever watch. Because like, everything you think you see of Phil is true. It's like reality TV. It's a lie. It's 100% fabricated. But I tell you, he doesn't always have the best writing step, and when he does, it's good. For 30, you can rather donate to the victims of LA fires. Exactly. Like, why spend $30 to some grifter in Texas and his grifter friends to have them have opinions about games that you clearly care about, but they could give two shits about? Because I guarantee you, once he turns off, if he even talked about video games, like, video games are the farthest thing from his mind. It was just like, okay, how can I get more money out of these idiots tomorrow? Yeah, you could give it to LA Fires. You can give it to Extra Life. You can use it on yourself. Go buy yourself a video game that you've always been wanting. But I watched Tough Enough. No. The last Tough Enough I watched is the one that Luke Robinson was on, and then got they hired Big Andy or whatever his fucking name was, who couldn't sell a slap to Vince McMahon and couldn't sell a stunner from Stone Cold. And I bet you they were like, shit, we bet on the wrong horse. We probably should have gone with Luke, because Luke was way more talented. One of our friends, Fox, just moved into his new house on the same lot as his original house. Got brought to the first 5 or 10 years ago. He was spreading the word to his friends to go find me to rebuild his home in LA. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's great. I'm so happy that he was able to rebuild his life there. And that's the thing, like, you know, things are like, you know, possessions are going to come and go, but, you know, as long as you hold on and you hold true, everyone will get through this.
They could also just be aware that putting themselves out personally will lead to ridicule in a space that exploits any weakness. Or they simply feel sympathetic to his plight. On the other end, you'll have those that want interaction with Phil. These can be small by typing messages in his chat to get a reaction or requesting a song on the radio. That is a simple basis of trolling. The overall effects are minimal and hardly controversial. Then you have those that feel personally slighted by Phil and seek revenge. This is where the illegitimate copyright strikes come from. They want Phil to fail in any way, and few strategies are out of their purview. Truly, the only defense in the space is self-awareness and anonymity. These members lack both. And the most interesting part is all these people inhabit the same space. Whether it be the forums or Phil's chat, they can be seen arguing endlessly. It is only a community out of convenience and nothing else. That's why it may look like the sons of Kojima would sit on top of this virtual hierarchy. But in actuality, the only thing they have claim to is they're the ones most dedicated to Phil. The group watches his streams for hours at a time to no benefit other than that claim. They are united by an overweight, middle-aged, failing, ailing creator. They were persistently hated within the detractor communities because they, being allowed to exist in their space, somewhat represented their community, albeit not accurately. Most dedicated channels, Twitter pages, and groups made for the sole purpose of following Phil are highly scrutinized, and if they become obsessed to the point they no longer represent any niche, they will always fail. That's why the Sons of Kojima collapsed in late 2017. Their leader, Fred Fox, was highly paranoid, morally confused, overall an oblivious individual. Though he was responsible for countless hours of footage criticizing Phil, he would crumble and get frustrated at even just his Encyclopedia Dramatica. These pages are known to be full of purposely inaccurate and exaggerative information to get a rise from who they're targeting. And his frustration from its creation further warranted its existence, as seen here where he is lambasting the creator of the page.
So how about this? I'll go fuck your mother for the laws and everything will be cool, right? No hard feelings?
I guess
There-
if you want
there
to
you
like
go. Just for the lows.
if you just want to twist my logic into black and white, there, sure.
No, I mean, that's what you're saying. You're saying you could do something if it's just for the lows. Nobody's supposed to get mad or offended.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you shouldn't take fucking Encyclopedia page Dramatica seriously.
There are also times when they invited Mr. Medicare on, a creator well known for his banter.
Okay, how much money would it take, this is for all of you, for one of you to suck Phil's cock? What is the donation amount that would be required for you to get on your knees and orally pleasure Phil?
Whoever asked that, fuck you.
That means, he's considering a number. You went silent because
I'm not answering because I'm not interested in that. That's fucked up.
So you're telling me you're not going to suck a dick for $10 million?
No.
Really? You wouldn't suck it. You wouldn't get on your knees and slurp up some mayonnaise for $10 million fucking dollar redos.
I don't want to lose my dignity.
Who gives a shit
90%?
about dignity?
That's
You
nice.
got $10 million in the bank. You can make people forget what the money. You can black hole that shit on the internet. Does the thought of Phil gently rubbing your hair as he comes in your mouth, does that bother you that much?
What the fuck? This is so wrong on so many levels.
Well, there you go. They refuse to answer. But if you notice, when I asked that question, they all went silent because they were thinking of a number. Every one of them was thinking of a number.
Some comments under this near 50-minute long video read, quote, Christ, without any DSP material to commentate over or talk about, these guys just got nothing. That's some weapons-grade humiliation. Christ, these guys are awkward. It makes me want to like Phil if these are his trolls. Unquote. On TV forums, there is a tremendous amount of information detailing Fred's paranoia, his coordinated attacks at former and current
There's
members,
so many pieces
his
just
first
for this
campaign of
shoulder
copyright
piece.
striking
It's
DSP
crazy.
via fan art, and his attempts to regulate the community besides deciding what is and isn't allowed to be monetized on the basis of moral superiority over Phil.
So yeah, this is the whole thing too. Like, this is what kind of dragged them down. Is that they were like, they wanted to like 100% control all the tractor content. They're like, you absolutely 100% positively cannot monetize Phil, like, at all. Like, you can talk about Phil, you can make videos about Phil, you can point out his foibles and his idiosyncrasies, but do not monetize him, because that means, you know, we're taking the moral high ground because we're not monetizing. And then they would like, I don't know, if like false copyright strike other detractors to like make sure they're not making money. I mean, at the end of the day, like, if you have the means to make the money, go for it. You know, if you choose not to monetize, that's cool. I know plenty of detractors that don't monetize, like Peace. He doesn't monetize. He just asks you to donate to a charity called Jasper's Angels that helps out, like, it's to help out animals. I don't know, Jad doesn't monetize per se. Like, he'll have super chats and super stickers and all that, but he won't put ads on his video. Like me, I have everything and anything. I mean, if you want to support me, cool. If not, hey, I got a 9 to 5. I'm good. What video even is this? Oh, Lena, this is Juna Kane's documentary on Darkside Phil that came out. Oh fuck! This is the original video because this one has the most views. 4 months ago. So yeah, Juna King did a documentary like 3.5 hours long on Phil, covering great detail. So that's what I have in the background there, just catching up on it.
Phil. His antics and strange history are also entertaining. That was another reason why he was exposed and why there are over 2,000 posts discussing him. What mattered to Phil was that his most persistent detractor group was no more. And on September 2017, he released a twitlonger about it. It is here that Phil revealed that Panelli's father was swatted in the past. This to him made it clear that no one in proximity to him was safe. This is the reason why he claims to have skipped Panelli's brother's wedding. Quote, what did the SOK do? Well, first, they decided to find out the address and date of the wedding. Yes, that's entirely true. They're so fucking sick that they, on their own and without my mentioning it for months, researched and found the event, and then spread that info all over the internet. They then decided to spin it that the reason we weren't attending was because I had to force Leanna to skip it so I can stay home and play Fallout 4 to make money.
That part was true. You did skip out on it to play because you ended up getting early access to Fallout 4 through Machinima, and you're like, I'm gonna stay home and play that, dude. But no, that's an evil practice now, and no one should ever do that. And if you do, fuck you, right?
Money. They actually accused me of keeping her at home forcefully. It couldn't have been further from the truth. It was a crippling fear that the SOK themselves, who found the damn date and address of the wedding, would have swatted the wedding. That made us stay home. So not only were they the reason we missed the wedding, they then turned their own vile actions into a way to make us look bad after the fact. It's mind-numbing, isn't it? Unquote. After the fall of the Sons of Kojima, there was a rise in more passive trolling. On Phil's forums, there was a crop-up of clear catfishes that had all miraculously turned 18 years old at the time. Then there was a pirate-themed treasure map made of the places Phil frequented and it was often thought to enjoy, with the inclusion of health foods and a gym placed just out of his reach due to the impossible bridge of certain death. On Instagram, there was a new strategy of trolling through indifference. No matter what picture Phil posted, there was bound to be tens, if not hundreds of comments stating 2 words.
Okay.
Well, really just 1 word with 2 variations. Comments were either okay or okay. Without fail, these cropped up and overwhelmed any other comment. Even just comments wanting to understand what was going on were met with a single response, okay. Phil even treated his audience to a pretty unique unboxing video.
Ladies and gentlemen, Phil here, and welcome to a pretty unique unboxing video.
I thought it was gonna be the Lightning Returns one, which apparently he thinks is funny now, so it's okay to make fun of him for it, because his new boyfriend's made fun of him for it. But no, if we make fun of him, we're just dirty fucking detractors. Oh, have I heard? Has Lena heard the new soundbite? I can play it.
Do not come. Do not come.
Thank you, John, for that. So yeah, this is not the. God damn it. Ugh, it's getting cold down here. My nose is running. Yeah, this is not the Lightning Returns ones, which I can put on later. This is focusing on this shit.
This video was unique because of what he was unboxing. What made it unique was for the first 3 minutes, his reflection was easily visible, and he was doing two things. He was swaying left and right, and he was doing his famous T-pose. Phil had swayed much in the past, but rarely was it not in first-person view. He claims it is because of back issues. The snorting is
Oh, that's snorting. Also, speaking of bad backs, big ups to Steve of the Dead for that 10-hour video, chronologically going through every time Phil mentioned his bad back and how he thinks it's bullshit. And afterwards, like, I think it's bullshit because if you have a serious medical condition like that, you don't just forget dates and numbers and like, oh, I think it's my L5, L6 vertebrae that's bruised. It's like, no. It's like you would know.
Blamed on what DSP claims is a post-nasal drip. The snorting plays into his depiction of a pig. Combined with his ability to remain online and survive like a cockroach came the derisive nickname Pig Roach. His laugh, his sway, his snorts all could be, and some more, made into several minute-long compilations of Phil doing these singular actions. Phil doing these actions in tandem would also gain purchase. Then there were two food-related items that always got viewers' attention. The first was sparked by this tweet where DSP states he likes penne. What he means is he likes the pasta, but in Spanish, penne means penis. The last item viewers took note in was his drink of choice.
I think gin and tonic is my drink of choice. Not every single day, but I do have a gin and tonic or two every once in a while, maybe a few times a week at night to unwind, especially if it's been a stressful day or if my back's hurting me. And yes, I do have a drink. Some gin and tonic. I guess I'll start the night right with a sip. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention this. I have a drink tonight. I have a gin and tonic next to me, which I'll be sipping from time to time. I won't be downing the whole thing.
It was not often that Phil drank on stream. However, this proclivity did extend outside of his streams. Sometimes the bottle of mixed drinks made his way into his vacation videos.
Everything else here, including the gin, which I'll probably drink mixed with that Sprite.
To indulge so much cost Phil a fair bit. But now, in addition to owing money to credit card companies and the like, he in September found that he owed money to a fierce collector.
I get this letter, all right? I get this letter, and the letter says, we suspect that you are doing business in the state of Washington under the name DSP Gaming, okay? We believe that you need to register and pay state business and occupation taxes. Please answer all of these questions for us.
Phil, since he moved to Washington, had not been paying state taxes. He claims the reason behind this is because he continued to list the services of his accountant from Connecticut.
To clear the air here, because a lot of people have misconceptions, my tax attorney in the state of Connecticut was a certified public accountant, was a dean of accounting at a college for several years, and was one of the highest accredited guys in the state of Connecticut. This is not some Joe Schmo asshole who I just got. And by the way, I paid this guy thousands of dollars to do my taxes, all right? I think the most he ever
charged was
like over $1,500 one year to do my taxes properly.
The importance of this is now Phil was claiming to owe state taxes since 2014, stacking yet another reason why 2017 was the year that finally doomed Phil financially. But at least he wasn't bankrupt. The grander and more dramatic reveal this year was of his new girlfriend. Yet the reveal photos only show the back of her head. Phil, to be able to hide a relationship for this long was surprising. A reason for only showing the back of her head was that Phil was slowly starting to separate his personal and online life, meaning that there would no longer be condo tours or virtually any videos outside of his office, save for a few additional DSP tries at videos like his attempt to recreate the virality of his Axe body scrubber video. This could only be beneficial. It wouldn't allow viewers to analyze his new purchases, his eating habits, anything that can be used against him, or even the people around him. Keeping Kat anonymous was likely Phil's attempt to protect her, though it did have its weakness and was immediately exploited.
So they fabricate this story that I hired an escort to come visit me during my Christmas break. I paid her thousands of dollars, or owe her thousands of dollars, apparently. I don't even know what the full story is because I'm not really following it.
Well, true to her word, Kimberly did know where to release that information too. Over on the forum, Kiwi Farms, a mysterious woman shows up to elaborate on what's going on.
In December 2017, a mysterious woman claiming to be a high-end escort with a history with Phil was claiming that Phil had not paid her, and if she did not receive the money owed, then she would release all the details of the event. And so she did. On Kiwi Farms, she developed a somewhat shallow story of Phil taking her out to dinner and spending a fair amount of money on her. Sprinkled in are notes about his bad credit, his disappointing manhood, and general notes on his house. This reads as too good to be true, as it's hitting the notes that want to be heard, while simultaneously not providing evidence outside of a testimony. The Kiwi Farms users were highly skeptical, but even so were enjoying the chaos this person was causing. But day after day of not providing a single piece of evidence, and users finding strange inconsistencies in her story, it was clear that the pieces were not fitting. It was only after users discovered that the images were not of this person's origin that she comes out and says she was hacked. It was not her at all. It was a catfish using her Twitter with stolen images. But no one was convinced. As a final Hail Mary, this person attempted to shift the blame on Fred Fox of the defunct Sons of Kojima by taking down the website and bringing it back up with the simple Fred Fox in the heading. It was not until this fake escort's identity was found under a different name, Angelina Capri, that the true culprits were unmasked.
Fucking
it was
bullshit.
quite easy to find the domain registry, and with it came the identity. The culprit.
Sorry, I gotta... I have no idea where it went. It was just a simple drop, too. It couldn't have gone far. Hang on, I'll be right back. I'll go sweep around and see if I can get it.
Culprits quickly tried to amend this information, but it had already been archived. The original registry had their full name, address, phone number, and their email. This gave the Kiwi Farms users everything they needed, and soon the culprits were fully doxxed, including their cat. Revealed and archived was their personal YouTube channel, one of their daughter's YouTube channels, Twitter's photo buckets, a lengthy history of information that was more than enough anyone needed to confirm this married couple ran an extortion and impersonation racket. They had a history of impersonating beautiful women and using their images to create profiles on adult websites where the wife would livestream her real body and pleasure herself, but only reveal her lower half as to not spoil the ruse. It was only when they tried to extort Phil through a different tactic and interact with his highly paranoid community that this was all discovered. If there was any doubt left, Phil would cave in and reveal his girlfriend Kat, who moved in shortly after.
Number one, like I said, it's the best relationship I've ever been in my life, okay? I feel like she's my
Yeah, because
soulmate.
you control the hell of her.
And I am in love with her, absolutely. She's in love with me. And if she were to move in, number one, she has a job that she, can probably find a job out here similar or whatever and make income to help immediately. Number two, cooking and everything, helping with the responsibilities of the house so I can get back to how I was.
And cook Kat did. The pair seemed well off. Even if Kat did appear awkward and uninteractive on stream, her uncombativeness was welcome. Where this cat reveal caused relief, the next cat reveal only brought frustration. What Phil was currently revealing was a sponsorship from OP Seats.
Alright, hang on. Don't tell me I screwed this whole thing up. I can't find it. Fuck. Stay silent.
The same day Phil revealed it, OP Seats terminated their contract with Phil due to the backlash they were getting.
So let's talk, because I want to tell you the full story of how I basically obtained sponsorship, and then all of a sudden, because of the actions of trolls, the sponsorship is now gone, okay?
Even so, in February, Phil procured a different sponsor but remained with the same product of a gaming chair. Gaming chairs across the board are disreputable for their style of function. That was not the
Yeah,
only reason
Silent, I lost a piece.
Phil was getting backlash. As it
I
was
found
discovered,
it.
this new company was not really a company at all. It was a person drop shipping cheap gaming chairs with an inflated price. So not only did this new sponsorship fall through, the company attached to it failed along with it. Phil was hardly sympathetic.
The fact of the matter is, folks, it doesn't really affect me because guess what? I mean, I got the chair. I got the chair already. That's why I didn't do a lick of promotion until I got the chair. And I talked to the guy up front about this, the possibility of nasty shit happening. And he said, no, I understand. I'll
shit!
put up with it.
Shinzo lost right with the party of 9. What's up, Shinzo? How you doing, man? Can I get a mod to give a shout out to Shinzo? Where are we playing tonight, man?
Just calling Ace out. I was not going to say a word.
What we got here?
Zejuto's new sex line is, I'm seizing your means of production by holding your milk.
That's a giant lion eating him.
Holy shit!
What game is this? This Dragon's Dogman?
That's one way to sex.
Woo-wee!
Oh, we're doing retro. Okay. Oh, Rainella. I'm sorry. I'm tongue-tied tonight. Hope you're all doing well over there on It's a Chimera. Yeah, big kitty. Yeah. So I'm building a Gundam. As you can see. Everything kind of came to a screeching halt. We're playing Sonic Adventure 2. Ooh, nice. Yeah, so we're building Gundam, and in the meantime, I'm just getting through Jude the King's documentary on our Blood Dark Side film. Calling Rain? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I kind of came to a screeching halt because I lost one piece, and because it's gray, and my floor is like a dark brown, and it's very dark, I had to stop everything here and take a look. Also, Phil, we're at the point in 2017, 2018 where he got a chair sponsorship for a non-reputable company. The company went under, and he just boasted, like, I got the chair, so what does it matter?
Phil, you make me angry, Phil!
Nice. Well, welcome on in, everyone. Hope everyone had a good time with Shinzo. I got some stuff to catch up later on hang time-wise, because... Oh no, I did watch it. Yeah, I was there for the Disney Lego announcement, and then they did their hangies. But yeah, let me get back to the Gundam. They started on one part and they fucked up, so I'll start this up.
It is what it is, guys.
As much as detractors work to spoil his mood, they can hardly compete with the natural and novel interactions Phil has, like with this 11-year-old on VR chat.
Oh god, the VR chat.
Sure, where is the waiting room?
Right behind you, idiot.
You didn't have to call me an idiot. I just walked in the door. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, if you look around, you would have been able to know. It literally says waiting room on top of it.
Wow. You're quite rude.
Wow. I'm 11. Deal with it.
Good, now I'm away from that annoying fucking bitch of a kid who I would have slapped in real fucking life if they talked to me like that. I would have fucking...
Yeah, I'm sure she's fucking scared of you, Phil. Do you need to go? I hope you have an nice night. Well, thanks, Rain. I do appreciate it. Thank you again for popping in.
Him slap that shit out of that.
This Pokemon-themed pixel art was made to commemorate the occasion. These small moments carried Phil's live streams for 2018. Nothing individually significant happening, but enough happening to remind the internet of his existence. This all hardly competed with ongoing events, relative to the collaboration between popular live streamer Ninja and popular musician Drew.
Oh, can I just go back for a second? I loved when he did these little things. Like, I don't know who his artist is or his editor who did this. I love this artwork. I love this style where it's like, hey, I've got low poly PS1 models. That's awesome. I would love to have something like that.
They competed with ongoing events. Relative to the collaboration between popular live streamer Ninja and popular musician Drake, DSP was practically non-existent. Until he began tweeting about their collaboration, starting by calling Drake and Ninja overrated. Phil sought to detract from this collaboration, from the likes of which were rarely, if ever, seen. Tweet after tweet, he argued with Twitter users. At some point, he even slided PewDiePie, claiming he is a product of hype and not quality content. Either these interactions struck a chord, or Phil was just in many prominent content creators' minds, as in not-so-quick succession, they took their turns mocking Phil. Like iDubbbz promoting the idea of Phil doing a collaboration with any rapper. In the background, there were leaks about Phil wanting to take down a video that for a short moment mentioned the escort saga. But in the foreground was PewDiePie.
You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. Onion Man versus Soy Boy.
iJustine was goaded into another response from the same quote. And Phil finally also made it into a Watch Mojo video.
This Twitch user had the bad idea of prematurely turning on his camera. Right before starting the live stream, he gives himself a short break
Welcome to
from
Watch Mojo.
Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh?
Do not come.
There was a renaissance of sorts in ways creators were able to make Phil entertaining.
I get so much use out of that. Thank you so much for that, Jontron. Like, there's a gift to the internet.
Few as creative as L Crimson King.
This fucking piece of shit? This disc? You see this fucking piece of garbage disc? Fuck it. It's gonna stay back there forever. I'm never fucking picking it up again. Don't ever ask me to play that fucking game again. That's the worst fucking game. That game is way worse than Revolution 16. Seriously.
Behind you, idiot. You click on that.
You didn't have to call me an idiot. I just walked in the door. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
This video would be honored by the creation of its own snort compilation. This emphasis on creative ways to mock Phil made the latter half of 2018 appear creatively bankrupt.
So I gotta reiterate this. Am I the only one that's ever pointed out that that Deadly Premonition song sounds an awful lot like Mario World? I can't be the only one. There has to be others. Okay, so I need some Fs. But I need a... Oh god, there's so many combinations to this thing. Oh my god.
In comparison. In the same vein, Phil was also suffering from his own potential bankruptcy.
Basically, in a nutshell, without going into too much detail, I'm not partnered anymore.
In July, he announced that he had split from Curse, claiming the separation to be amicable. Now, having to rely on his own, unsuspended assets account, Phil found that he was making far less than he was with his partnership. On top of this, his views were halved without explanation, going from an average of 2 million a month to hovering just around 1 million. And so Phil did what he calls an emergency livestream, trying to brainstorm ways and goad sympathetic viewers to help with donations. Provided was also advice. A common recommendation is to get a job outside of content creation. Phil, not wanting to consider this option, had these messages delivered in rather creative ways.
Oh.
Phil, being a fan of the WW...
How big of a fucking lolcow do you have to be that people are going to bring signs to wrestling events to tell you to get a job? I like, hey, because I speak truth. No one saw because he's Sean Ranklin.
WE reacted to this person holding up a sign that reads, quote, DSP get a job, unquote. This was not even the first time this happened. Last year, a person held up a similar sign, though less legible. Phil opting to continue streaming to a dwindling audience would suffer the consequences of dealing with his remaining audience.
Oh, I should point out too, one night, this was recently, he didn't hit his King's tax. This is what he's calling his support goals now. Now he's counting everything. Like he's counting his Twitch revenue, his Twitter, or his YouTube revenue, his Kick revenue, any type of revenue he's now counting. Before he would only count tips, because tips are the liquidity of his business. He would only count tips. Like he'll still take your money for subs and donation or other donations and super chats and all that, but they don't count to the overall goal. Guys, I need money. What should I do? Get a job? Besides that. Oh, yeah. So he didn't hit his goal. And immediately goes, I would have made more money flipping burgers at Burger King. And everyone's like screaming, fucking do it. But he won't.
These are superfans that stuck with him regardless of countless examples of Phil's ill will, and on the other side are his most persistent trolls that remain even after the majority of trolls lost interest in Phil's cyclical nature. On the other side was a user known as Student Common, or TUT for short. They came in donating thousands of dollars, but also used the money they donated as leverage as they could circumvent what will get a normal person banned simply because of their influence. But even TUT pushed this beyond what Phil could endure. After creating much unwanted attention for Phil and Phil pushing back, TUT threatened to charge back the money he donated. A chargeback is when someone donates money, gets the desired effect of having the streamer read their message, and then, in a later date, petitions PayPal or whatever financial medium they're using to get their money back. This is done by stating that the money was fraudulently sent, or by other dishonest means. And TUT did try to...
Yeah, if I can say that... Don't be like this. Like, even if you're doing it for trolly reasons, don't. Like, or if you're doing it for legit reasons, like, but you think that you can circumvent anything just because you make money? No. I had someone that we banished from this community and from our Game Days for Good community who held a paid sub over my head. They're just like, you'll never, like, I hope you enjoy this because you're never going to see it again. And they're like, if that's the way you're going to act, I don't want your money. If there was a way to refund subs, I would have refunded him. And be like, take your sub back. I don't want it. Like, I want people who want to be here. And if you want to contribute, cool. If you don't, again, no skin off my back because this is a hobby. This is not my life's blood or my life's work. Not at the Burger King I went to today. Oh yeah. I wonder, I can't remember if he talks about the Burger King saga in this, where like he flamed Burger King for the fucking chicken sandwich.
To charge back some of that money, only to fail as PayPal sided with Phil. This was a victory for Phil, but in the grand scheme of how much he was bound to owe, it didn't seem like much.
In addition to my normal income, I need to raise about another roughly $16,000 between now and April.
This plays into why Phil is labeled as an e-beggar, a person that petitions, guilt, or even demands donations from their audience. While it is normal for streamers to subtly stimulate donations through appreciation, Phil's tactics are more direct.
Taxes are going to be my main thing I have to figure out this year. Making enough money not only to pay the bills, but my taxes are coming up. And right now I'm focused on just getting through this year, hopefully being able to pay my taxes somehow. I'll be honest with you guys. Yeah, taxes are always something that are on my mind. You know, I've got tax payments due. You know, my state taxes are due in January. My federal taxes are due in April. If I could get through paying the taxes for next year, the federal taxes. Their taxes were high. Things like tip goals and the like on stream to try to raise funds for my taxes and all that.
This very much works. In December, Phil's
the
rumors
taxes.
discussions
The
of
bigger
money
thing
launched
means
him into
the
the fourth
taxes.
highest number of Tier 3 subs. These are subscribers that cost $25, and somehow Phil got 204 of them. With an average of 372 viewers means that each viewer paid on average $13 solely from their Tier 3 subs. But also, the donations are disproportionate as subscriptions can be gifted. Donations and other tiers of sub have also been taken into consideration, and Phil also receives donations that for the time being were not accounted for. Typically, surges in donations or the like are linked to unique or interesting streamers rising in the ranks receiving donations to produce more of their content. And to Phil's credit, he was planning
like
to do something unique,
streamathons.
something no streamer would ever even consider.
Burger King I went to today for both the delivery order and getting food was so tiny they only had 2 people working and no ventilation fans. Ew, gross. I wonder like how you can operate like a franchise like that. It's weird.
And that is a marathon to raise money to pay for his taxes.
All right, it's going to be via tips, meaning the only real viable way for you to contribute and help me out in this situation is to tip me, because you tip me via sending funds to my PayPal, and that allows me to have those funds right away and put those funds toward my taxes.
The marathon was to take place in March of 2019. The goal was to raise around $5,000 through tips. And as Phil mentioned, the tips he received, which is the money he made through PayPal and not subscriptions or other Twitch integrated services, would be used towards taxes.
More than likely, probably
this was a lie.
At this point, I've probably raised like around $900 to $950 because every dollar tip I only get 67 cents out of. I probably got, no lie, like $500 tips today, and all those only like 60%. So, but it is what it is. Thank you guys.
This was not very close to his $5,000 goal, so Phil did a second marathon in April where he made a bit more money as seen through the bar at the top, again stating where all the money would go to.
I said, so people have been asking me questions like, so what's going to happen now? It's very simple. With all the money that I've raised for these taxes, I'm going to go to my tax guy and say, this is what I have.
There was some natural skepticism and some paranoia around Phil, as he had shown himself to be a dishonest person. And so, in the detractor community, while theories spread, but only the most gullible swallowed all theories around Phil. The newest theory came from the blindsiding reveal that Phil had gotten married to Kat and used the funds earned from the tax marathon streams to finance some of the wedding. But Phil got on stream to quell some of the unrest.
And by the way, as I'm going to explain, don't worry, again, everything's going to be explained. Everything I told you guys up front about that stuff is true. Everything, every dollar that was raised to help with taxes is going towards the taxes.
Now Phil is reasserting that all the money went to taxes. But later in the day, he states that was not the case.
And I did 2 different marathon events, all right, that raised, in total, if you actually look at the amount of tips that I raised that can go towards these taxes, was around, I think, I want to say just under $2,500. But also what people need to understand, which they don't, is that normally I raise tips. And normally tips go to paying bills. So even though I raised $2,500, a chunk of that had to just go to...
You get corporate involved. So filled with smoke and not even an open door could clear it. Jesus.
Pay my monthly stuff normally, and so even though I raised $2,500, in reality it was probably under $2,000 that I had left over afterwards to put towards the federal taxes.
Phil had lied throughout his marathon streams and the streams afterwards by now stating that over $500 or so went towards his bills and other expenses. This contradiction seemed too great, so I asked Phil about it. Phil responded with a superbly long-winded response. His answer is buried in this line, 2 words in his 357-word response. Quote, I misspoke.
You notice the contradiction because I misspoke. I can't deny it. I say that all the fundraising money went to paying my taxes, but it did not. Every day I worked, that money had to go towards paying basic bills and necessities like food, utilities, the mortgage, and health insurance. Yeah, but you don't have daily bills, Phil. Like, you should have this shit put away. As I think I was saying in this video, after all of that, the extra went to the taxes. What would have been the point
Unquote.
of...
Meaning that he misspoke about all the money going to taxes. What I failed to mention was this was not the only piece of evidence I had reconfirming that all the money from his fundraising would go to taxes.
But again, as I've already said, I can assure all of you that there was no deception whatsoever on my part outside of the fact that the wedding existed. All funds that I raised for taxes and the like are going towards taxes. Not a dollar, not a single dollar that was supposed to be raised for taxes went towards anything during this wedding or anything. Nothing.
The clear answer is Phil lied, and the money raised is unaccountable. What few people knew at the time was Phil had a 10-year plan. In a conversation with his mother, who had bailed him out previously and delayed a potential bankruptcy,
oh yes, the
Phil was
10-year
presented
plan.
with 2 decisions: file for bankruptcy or develop a 10-year plan. This 10-year plan was meant to phase him out of content creation into a more traditional job. It was even clear to his family at this point that his online presence was only causing trouble for him and those surrounding him. Even now, there was an uproar of displeasure where a few mods were rebelling and leaking private chats and other items surrounding Phil due to his recent lies about where the marathon money was going. Phil did not understand the depth of this backlash. On the flip side, Phil did not understand goodwill either. On May 9, 2019, Phil tweeted, quote,
did I watch the My trailer yet? No. Is there an actual, like, trailer for that? Because the only My thing I've seen is, they've actually put My in, Naraka Blade Point. Like the, action-based, BR game. The one that I, like, played heavily the last couple months just to get Lara Croft, colors and skins. It is on YouTube? Okay. I don't pay attention to the corporate logos on the map for Raw. I didn't realize Fortnite logo is gone. Really? So expect a Max React soon. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he'll probably do that. Although I do know that his internet's been going off and on because of the winds and shit.
Quote, took a day off the entire internet. But hashtag ProJared hilarity was at the top of everyone's Twitter feed. Haha, whoops. Unquote. Now that ProJared was going through his own controversy sparked from his lewd Tumblr and confusing open relationship, Phil jumped in on the anti-ProJared bandwagon. After this resoundingly successful tweet, Phil went on a stream chat and simultaneously downplayed and exaggerated the success of the tweet. By the 11th, Phil was so confident that this tweet was bringing him the goodwill of the internet that he made this.
The reason I'm doing this is because in the past couple of days, the internet at large has finally kind of turned an eye to me for the first time in a major way in a long time, in an actual positive light.
This video is titled DSP Tries It, Debunking 7 Years of Slander. In a nearly 2-hour video, Phil took a cursory glance at some of his controversial moments, like the time he said Minecraft was stupid, dating Pennant Lee while she was 18, or explaining the escort drama that had long been proven false. Lacking here was everything else, from his financial woes, his treatment of his audience, his lashing out at other creators through minimizing their achievements or insulting them altogether. Phil's video was completely lackluster. Even a successful video dispelling his controversies would not change the fact that the reason people watch Phil is to laugh at his antics. His Saucy Mondays, streams where he goes off camera to stir a pot of Italian sauce, has no inherent value to regular people. But his lies are—
I still maintain I want Melanie and I to watch the sauce video. That big, long, arduous, like 20-part, which could have been done in one video, but of course he has to make multiple videos because
which was the style at the time.
That was the style at the time on YouTube. You make multiple videos. In early YouTube, maybe, because then you had that 10-minute cutoff. But then when YouTube started to lax off and just like, all right, you can post as long as you want on there. Yeah.
On the other hand, tend to be captivating.
Marky Mark says, what is my favorite drink? I like White Russians. Oh, I never had a White Russian before. Never had a White Russian.
What drew viewers' attention now was a reveal stream with a $1,000 goal. Phil promised a big, positive reveal. Users guessed all throughout, none of them hit the mark. Some even thought that the reveal was
2K Jasper scam. Ooh, the IC title match is next.
And
nice.
The positive reveal came.
I got someone I'd like you to meet. Come on up here. Come on up here, buddy.
Dakota Kai versus
come up here. You want me to pick you up?
Lyrie Valkyrie. Or Valkyrie.
Someone
Valkyria.
who actually is not a new addition to the family. Someone who I'm going to introduce you to today, who has been a part of our lives for quite some time, in fact. All right? And it's funny because with all the stuff that we've had to do, we've had to keep a lot of stuff private. Come on up here. Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to our pet.
Phil's reveal was his cat Jasper. but users already guessed the reveal was a new cat. Phil's reasoning was they did not guess correctly enough.
So a lot of people, you're right, a lot of people did guess that cat was the thing. The thing, a lot of people say, oh, it's a new cat. It's a new cat. It's not. Jasper actually has been our cat for a while.
On top of this, Phil got another $1,000 donation from a single donor through the miscommunication of there being a second positive reveal. The easiest way to find out how controversial a stream was to find out how many bans occurred that day. And according to this user-made graph, the day Jasper was revealed, there were 451 bans on his stream. But this graph relates to Phil's stream only. On September 29, 2019, Phil was seen not on his own channel, but on the Quarterings, a creator who is controversial in his own right, but utilizes it to make a living. This is something long anticipated because Phil sits in the relative safety of his own streams and controls the dialogue. Adding a different prominent creator would mean there would be no place to hide, and some have tried to secure an interview with Phil. But Phil is very careful, very selective. He only allows those ignorant of his rich history to reach him. And even then, there can be stipulations in place to block some of the most demanding questions. Like, how much does Phil owe? Where do the thousands of dollars in donations end up? Does he believe himself to be financially responsible? And instead of that, viewers got this.
This is the most popular question.
Okay.
You're right. Where did the load go?
Do not come.
Normally, a like to dislike
Do
ratio.
not come.
Yes, like no one cares. Hey, he jerked off on me first. Although everyone is now saying that we should celebrate the anniversary when he told King Be Cruel, male spoon eat the shit out of my ass, because that was fucking unhinged. Because he was trying to compare his life to Ichiban's in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, because someone said, like, it's like me for real, and he's like, it's like me for shut the fuck up and eat it. I can make a factual fucking observation. Like, bro, just because a fake VTuber on that game is making fun of Phil or making fun of Ichiban, is like, that's not you. Yes, VTubers make fun of you like constantly, which we'll see later, because the Tales of the Kingdom, or Tears of the Kingdom is coming up. But bro, this isn't it. All right, shoulder pieces are coming along nicely. What do I need now? C parts. Okay.
Is the most basic way to see how much viewers agree with any which video. But this time, there is something better.
I accidentally cut these ones out here.
Interview got 90,000 views. These can represent interest in particularly how many care to view it, how many aligned with the interview. With that in mind, It's a Gundam, a channel that is hardly DSP-centric, covered the interview and broke down how Phil misrepresents himself while going into some of the deeper Phil lore. It's a Gundam's video blew the Quarterings interview out of the water, as not only was it twice as long as expected from an analysis, but it also stands with 1.6 million views. Even then, It's a Gundam willingly skipped over or just summarized much of the Phil lore only pertinent to the interview. Phil's endless list of controversial moments was in the end helping him. Even if Phil acts dastardly, there is so much information needed to understand how all its controversies tie into one another, that virtually anyone not in the detractor community is indifferent to anything non-viral that Phil does. What's a drop in an already overflowing bucket? What also house Phil are his worst trolls that allow him to misrepresent and discredit the detractor community as a whole. On Kiwi farms, doxings are a common sight, information spread for the sake of harassment. At one point, these were not so common until one individual showed up on the farms, a user that went by Nigel of UKIP. For what would be the next couple of years, this individual will freely dox those in Phil's vortex. It's hard to say how he was doing it. He could have had insider information and somehow used the donor's PayPal information to craft a dox, or simply just searched for usernames across social media websites until he found commonalities, ultimately leading to the dogs of those within the Phil sphere. The only other strange instance of doxing was from a difficult-to-cover story, as the relevant threads where this mass dox was held were expunged. And of course, the way back
what we got here?
Kiwi farms. All that is left are recollections and videos that serve of evidence of its existence. Quote, his...
Is this... I trust you sound here. Let's just see. Okay, we gotta deviate for a second here. Hang on. Let's see if this pops up. So shout out to Silent Hero for Poochie. This is... Wow. So this is what a sold out hard game looks like. Welcome to the big time, Penta. Big ups. Thanks for that. Like nothing against A-Dub. Like it's just man, like they gotta try really hard to get back. I don't know if they start. Was it around CM Punk leaving or getting fired that caused it? I can't remember.
Is a pretty good recap of the entire docu-show. But since the thread itself has apparently been nuked, I'll just add some context and missing details for anyone who wasn't around back then. It was known as the January Harvest of 2018. It started because BSV got into a tangle with the nasty on here. Apparently got stupid ugly, families threatened, etc. The KF Dog Sluts issued an ultimatum to DSP. Admit publicly to your tardians that your main pay whale, DSP, has been saying doing some stupid shit. Which, yes, at the time, are aware going to drop a super dogs at a rate of 1 per day on your The King of Hate Farm Dwelling Redacted. This will begin on X date and continue until you have done this one simple and justified and true thing. Basically just disavow BSP's behavior. Lol, unironic Freedom Forum members and Kiwis with trolling accounts over there like and become tremble with fear. No one is safe, lol. Philip Piss Baby Fuck You Burnell responds by shoving his head in the quicksand. Turbo doxing commences. After like 3 days of this Waco standoff, his terrified forum users go from screaming at Phil to do something to stop this into a 5-alarm dumpster fire. Standoff continues until Phil's revenue begins tanking a bit. He's now forced to address this matter on air. Does nothing, says nothing he was told to admit. Advises his audience that anything the bad dogs have done to them is their fault. Not his because they're stupid and they use his forum, lol fair, and have personal shit in their online profiles that anyone can see. Which would have been his one valid argument in all this if it hadn't been tendered in his signature blame-shifting desperation and also contradiction by some other horseshit he said 30 seconds later. The victims of these cyberbullies shoulder all the blame in this, and everyone is stupid because you should just know that any internet presence puts you at risk of, well, everything. NMF and ICD. Dog's harvest continues. Despite having zero leverage, Fatboy gives the internet a 19-hour olive-branch speech as a counter-offer to everyone who doesn't dick ride him on the internet. Peaceful coexistence? Okay. No more talking shit from either side? Sound good? 9 seconds later, he resumes talking shit about dirt detractors. People that internet.
Let's skip through this.
As a reminder, these videos are considered the insignificant parts of Phil's history. The larger portions have longer running history and tie themselves well together. Like at the start of 2020, there were 2 things around Phil being discussed. A bankruptcy, which had its own honorary sign displayed at a WWE pay-per-view event, which is also attached to the theory around a mobile game known as an honorary sign.
DSP's bankrupt sign at WWE Worlds Collide pay-per-view. Oh boy, here we go again. Oh wow, this is pre-pandemic. Yeah, Phil has still been watching WWE at this. Michael Cole did say, welcome to the big time.
Sign displayed at a WWE pay-per-view event, which is also attached to the theory around a mobile game known as WWE Champions. The bankruptcy is far more forward and clear, and has been a long time coming, with Phil discussing his want to file for bankruptcy through 2019. Only now, in January 2020, was the process underway.
But basically, eventually, I sat down and I saw a lawyer and talked to the lawyer, and the lawyer said, you know, with your situation, you know, there's really no way out besides declaring bankruptcy. Like, there's no way. How are you going to get out of not only owing all this debt that you have behind the scenes through credit cards and loans, but now you've got a home that you can't pay for and they're going to foreclose on you. Chances are they're going to sue you.
The bankruptcy forms made it into the hands of the detractors. In these dense, lengthy legal forms were revelations that finally, among many other things, put a number on Phil's total debt. The unsecured creditors on page 20 list all of Phil's unsecured claims, so items that had no collateral such as personal loans and credit cards. The page 1 of 7 on the bottom right corner was already hinting at the sheer amount of debt Phil had incurred. The only thing more impactful will be going through all the individual accounts. And so, number 1, $1,100 to an American Express card. Number 2, $6,400 on a different American Express card. Number 3, $26,000 to Bank of America. Number 4, $2,700 to BMW of North America. Number 5, $10,700 to a Capital One credit card. Number 6, $14,100 to a Chase credit card. Number 7, $8,500 to a Citibank credit card. Number 8, $13,800 to a different Citibank credit card. Number 9, $15,600 to Citibank. Number 10, $10,000 to a Discover credit card. Number 11, $9,300 to Lenny Club Corporation.
Oh yeah, I got
12,
pictures of this.
$4,300 to Prosper Marketplace. Number 13, $3,800 to Sam's. And finally, number 14, $4,700 to US Bank. This comes to a grand total of $131,550.28.
Massive credit card debt. I have, like, it's a theory that this has been building up since 2000, like 3 or 4, whenever he started getting into competitive Street Fighter, like seriously touring the country. He would just throw everything onto a credit card. And it just never stopped. We know he maxed out a shit ton of credit cards in his move to Washington because he just basically bought all of his furniture on credit. He bought like bed, he bought couches, TVs, like furnished his whole house on a credit card. Credit cards. And then the rest could possibly be Mobile Game Addict, Total Wine, all those fucking statues he bought in Connecticut that are just sitting in a room in his house, taking up space. It's insane. And by the way, bankruptcy, all that forgiven. It's gone. It's done.
The secured loans with collateral include his car and Washington condo, which was now his only condo. To add to this, on page 19, readers could see Phil still owed over $100,000 on his Connecticut condo, in which he originally purchased for $131,000. This means he was paying the minimum, or if he really wanted to, he could have paid the entire thing off and lived there within just a few years of purchasing it. Instead, he is now here, 11 years later, owing the IRS $15,000, having virtually no credit, being stripped of what little he accrued and being returned back to nothing. Was it worth enduring a decade of trolls, daily streams, managing lies, and being hated in the only community you know? The answer is yes, because Phil has something almost no one else has.
Alright, here we go. Now it's the WWE Champions time.
Phil's plights were all worth it because of this Candy Crush, gotcha-designed phone game themed around the WWE, known as WWE Champions. It is important to note that Phil has refuted investing into this game to the extent people have claimed. Despite a mountain of very strong evidence, he has room to dismiss it because there is no smoking gun. Phil has a history of playing other mobile games themed around the WWE, and was not shy to spend money on microtransactions to get an advantage. However, on WWE Champions, there is an account that has seen some tremendous climbing in the leaderboards that would be impossible without microtransactions. This account's name was They Call Me DSP. Phil's Twitter handle is also They Call Me DSP. Phil has a history of using that username in other apps like Pokemon Go, and Phil in the past has admitted to playing.
WWE Champions is a game that plays a lot like Candy Crush of all games, or what's the other one, Bejeweled? It plays like those two games with wrestlers, and honestly the game cheats and it's not very good, but I just play it because it has wrestlers in it.
What detractors seek to prove is that the account They Call Me DSP is indeed Darkside Phil.
Did not,
if they can attach this account to Phil,
Dakota did not win the title.
Phil spent tens of thousands of dollars.
Were there shenanigans?
This is where TJ Gamebox comes in, a person that plays the same mobile game, who was dragged into this mess.
Big up TJ.
We're playing WWE Champions, and we're part of a guild called Xena, and the guild, unfortunately, was joined by a person that was named They Call Me DSP. The second that he was in my guild, a lot of people in my guild were threatened to be doxxed by detractors for having him in the guild because they didn't want us to go ahead and give him any prominence in the game.
It was clear that detractors were keeping tabs on the They Call Me DSP account, and they were following this account through various guilds, threatening guild members in-game. Other guilds, like TJ's guild, would adhere to the detractor demands and remove They Call Me DSP. It is also important to note that besides Phil claiming that he does not own the account, attempts have been made to reach out to the They Call Me DSP account to see if the owner could somehow prove that they were not DSP. The owner was not cooperative, which gives more fuel to the theory. As for TJ, having some prior knowledge of Phil, became interested in this investigation.
So I went further into it. I decided to keep track of money, keep track of tabs, keep track of when he's online. When I would find that he was online whenever DSP was offline. And whenever he was online, streaming, that account was offline.
The thing is, with higher spenders or those more invested in games, guilds, clans, whatever it may be, drift off their game and use third-party software to communicate with one another. This, in most cases, is Discord, but in other cases it can be apps like WhatsApp, which is primarily used for communication. There is also the Line app, which serves a similar function. And as it so happens, one of the guilds They Call Me DSP joined was using the Line app.
When I noticed he joined one of the guilds, there was a part where he could be part of the Line app. It says the Line app was used for communication. So I did a little bit of digging and found that if you connected his phone number, because this phone number is public, onto the Line app, it popped up with They Call Me DSP.
This is a strong form of verification. You type in your number, then the app sends a message with a code to that number. This is rather straightforward because though numbers can be duped with outgoing messages, messaging the number back
was all
will result
clean?
in reaching
Oh, wow,
the actual
okay.
number and not any spoof
Good
one.
for Lara.
Forgetting about the need of phone verification, Phil initially dismissed it as a troll with creating a Line account under They Call Me DSP.
Sounds like someone made an account in my name to try to fucking screw me over, just like Discords and everything else that's happened this year. I know nothing about it, but it sounds like you're a conspiracy theorist, doesn't it?
A viewer then informs Phil that his number is tied to the Line app account, to where Phil changes his tune.
Really big boy, you have to enter a code from an SMS message when you download the app. The troll has access to your text messaging. I contact the authorities if I were you.
Huh? What?
I'm just, seriously, like there's no way to dupe one of these app companies into thinking that you are using a phone number that you're not, right? Or there's no possible way that in the 6 years since my cell phone's been doxxed that I changed my number, right? No way possible that I would have possibly done that, right?
Phil claims two things. Firstly, that it may be possible to fool a company through a spoof number, which it is not. The second is Phil introducing the potential that he changed his number during this time, which was countered by someone calling Phil's number and getting this.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Phil Burnell.
Not only that, when ranting about John
Phil
Rambo, he
Burnell,
slips up.
but
I have nothing to make amends for at Rambo. I never mistreated the guy. the guy was always told me that he was happy when we were doing work together and everything. He's the one who cut off contact with me and lied to me saying everything was all right, but then stopped talking to me and then made a negative video about me later. He would have to reach out to me. I am the one who still has the same phone number. I'm the one who, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the guy who's still easily reachable.
What this proves is Phil has a line account, and also another item to stack on the massive pile of Phil's lies. But again, Phil could run with the narrative that just because he has a line account that is also under the Call Me DSP, that doesn't prove that he plays WWE Champions. And so the investigation continues and lands on a different third party, Discord.
So I have sources of him joining and being kicked out of my guild. I have sources of him being in another WWE Champions Discord and me talking to him.
This is significantly more promising than the Line app, because unlike the Line app, They Call Me DSP's Discord is clearly seen interacting with TJ's guild. And while anyone could choose whatever name they please on Discord, all accounts had to have a unique code attached to them. And thanks to a bot archive in the people that left the Discord, that not only shows the name, but also a unique Discord ID, which is 4058. At the time, Phil also had a secret mod Discord, and a rogue mod just happened to leak Phil's unique Discord ID, which was also 4058. Though the numbers are clear, what Phil now relies on is trying to state that the evidence itself is illegitimate. Somehow, one way or
I
another,
love that Phil had to, like,
altered,
basically,
and of course, they never used Discord for those purposes.
He had to own up that that Down for the Rafters is him. I say is because he swears to God. He swears on his mother's life. Well, he doesn't swear on his mother's life, but he probably would to save face. He doesn't have the account anymore. He says he sold it. I call it bullshit. Because that's all accounts are tasked to a line into a number. Like, and that account is still online when Phil is not online. So guess what? It's still him. He'll never admit it. He'll take that to his grave. About a Super Sentai Aishikai? What is that?
The only time I ever used Discord was to chat with people back when I had a partnership with Twitch and stuff like that. I had a contact who I tried to do a Discord. But outside of that, I've never used it for anything else. I don't even know what Line app is. I guess it's just chat. I don't know. Maybe it does do those other things. I have no idea.
At this point, one can reasonably deduce that They Call Me DSP is Phil. Though Phil claims what should be definitive evidence is false, and relies on his minuscule credibility to sway his audience. And so the investigation continues to find something more definitive that Phil cannot excuse as false. This is where the bankruptcy documents come into play. His expenses are most pertinent. On page 32 of his bankruptcy petition, these personal expenses are itemized between him and his wife. His monthly expenses come around to $5,100. His mortgage and tax payment plan make up for nearly half of his personal expenses. There's nothing eyebrow-raising here. But then you look on Form 122A, the monthly business income and expenses. Here you find something entirely different. On page 4, it shows what Phil's income for the months of July, August, September, October, November, and December of 2019 were. He never made under $8,000, and in just these 6 months made a total of $55,000. But did he really? In this form, he listed his business expenses, which are separate from personal expenses. Expenses meant to only be related to his content creation job. These expenses are $9,000 for the month of July, $5,400 for August, $3,100 for September, $4,400 for October, $4,300 for November, and $4,900 for December. In July alone, he claims to have lost $867 from his streaming job somehow. And because these do not have to be itemized, as the only purpose of this form is to make sure you're not making enough money to reasonably pay off your debts, means Phil does not have to explain how a job, with virtually no overhead, where at most his expenses should be limited to purchasing games, is costing thousands of dollars a month.
Yeah, like
Once
what
more,
the
on his
hell?
bankruptcy petition on page 14 of 50, he claims to only have $1,500 in business assets. So as the courts would see it, these expenses would have to go into services. It is understood that Phil doesn't pay his mods. On the contrary, his mods pay him. He asks viewers to pay for his games. He doesn't use any services for his business that would charge those thousands of dollars. And so this leaves many to believe this is how Phil hides his WWE Champions transactions, labeling them as business expenses. Which if Phil can play to the government's ignorance of his content creation job so long as they see it as profitable, then perhaps Phil can also do this on his taxes. And so what does Phil have in response to these official documents? When I asked him, quote, "Do you believe it's incorrect/possible that you spent solely that much on your business for those months?" He responded with, "It's not just possible, it's true." That's what my attorney submitted, and that's what was reviewed and approved in the bankruptcy case. But specifics I can never talk about because 1, I didn't do those calculations. The attorney did, so I honestly have no idea what they actually include. And number 2, I wouldn't publicly talk about any expenses, personal or business-wise, regardless. It's literally nobody's business besides the bankruptcy court. Unquote. Phil refused to itemize his expenses.
But when you are on stream begging every fucking day, it is people's business. Like, he made $800 today on his stupid Dark Souls stream, which apparently he fucked up the mod and broke the game. So good on you, Phil, for that. But like, it's you make it their business, and then when people have the gall to ask you, hey, where's all the money going? You say none of your business. It's like, okay, well, I guess you don't need the money then. Make it make sense, dude. Oh, Miz versus Sami Zayn. Ooh, that should be interesting. It's called The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World. It's about a Red Ranger who, after a battle between his team and their big villain, gets transported into a fantasy world. All of his powers and abilities still work at the fantasy world, and all the tropes like huge explosions also happen. Really? It's kind of like that other Saban show, that original show he was trying to do, the Mystic Knights of Tirok Nor. I know it's pronounced differently, but the way it's pronounced to me sounds like the Cardassian name for DS9.
Anyway. Citing both his ignorance of them and the privacy around them. There are also clear discrepancies on the filings. On page 1250 in the bankruptcy petition, the boxes check that he doesn't own any non-farm animals, but he owns his cat, Jasper. There's also speculation on the valuation of his Washington condo, as on page 1150, it states it is valued at $379,000 according to Zillow. These smaller items made people ever more speculative of Phil and the WWE account that vanished. They Call Me DSP disappeared from the game, but there was an account that had similar stats.
They Call Me DSP, so the Gun Show 87, so now Down from the Rafters, which, by the way, you cannot use the name Down from the Rafters in WWE Champions because the name is too big to use. So that means it was changed by a bot. It was changed by Scorply.
Down the Rafters was the last name change. As the account stated, this would be the last time they would try to change their name, as it was clear that they could not hide from the trolls that follow them, thinking that they are, quote, some idiot video game streamer that they hate, unquote. By 2020, Phil was adamant that he had quit all mobile games. Not even just recently, but all the way back in 2018.
In 2018, I quit all mobile games. I don't play them anymore. I got rid of them. I said I'd rather focus time on important stuff with my family and stuff. I don't waste time. I keep telling you guys this. Mobile games are money sinks. You'll put money into it, you put time into it, and money into it, and you don't get anything really out of it unless you're constantly keep playing and sinking more money into it. That's the truth of the matter. Quit all those mobile games because they were just pay to win. You got to the point where they're really fun to play at first, and then you realize you can't actually progress unless you drop money to get all the new cards.
Far more captivating at the time was the ongoing bankruptcy proceedings.
We have a next matter. It's Philip Burnell.
This is Rochelle Sheffield for the debtor, and Philip Burnell is with me.
He's in your office with you?
Yes.
Hey, Mr. Burnell, you there?
I am present.
I am
that
present.
audio was from a 341 meeting. In this meeting, the debtor, Phil Burnell, is accompanied by his trustee. A basic rundown of this meeting is to catch discrepancies within the bankruptcy filings. Creditors are expected to, but often don't attend. This call took place during COVID. Many facilities were closed, and the online space was looked upon as the temporary replacement, a place where Phil's trolls lived.
Stampy?
Yes?
Sorry, there's 60 people on the line for this call, so I think that's the problem.
Sammy wins? Nice.
A reason so many were invested in this call, some even live streamed.
Sorry, I had to take let me see what we got here. I do love that, like, I could hover over the lake and just see. Ooh. Word of a dice, just stand too close to a ranger. So it's an anime? That's kind of cool. Hello, Mata. Hello, Fada. Here I am at Camp Granada. Merge, is Lisa at Camp Granada? E1. Alright, E, the blue ones? Or E, the yellow ones? Shit! Nope, either the yellow ones. Okay. Oh, let's take a look at the clip there. Well, that's awesome.
Streaming it was to see if Phil's inexplicable business expenses would be questioned.
What is WWE Network?
WWE
Oh,
Network.
WWE Network. That is a video service for watching, professional wrestling. That is not business related.
Many, with the opening of that question, thought that was the moment Phil was caught. But it was just the service that was being asked about.
You've provided me a copy of your PayPal account for 1 month. I would like to see the last 6 months of both of your PayPal statements.
Oh no, it's gonna happen.
This also turned out to be a false positive. But again, hopes were up when Phil was asked to explain his business expenses.
What do you consider a business expense?
Anything relating, to the business per the instruction of my tax attorney. So it could be, the cost of a video game, the cost of a subscription for a video game, a microtransaction within a video game, cost of a piece of new equipment, maintenance on said equipment every month. It could be the internet, cost of internet every month. It could be cost of utilities necessary for the business.
Could be.
Cost of cell phone.
Could it or could it not be?
This was dismissed rather easily, likely through the ignorance of the attendees. But if anything, it did prove that Phil knew how his business expenses were calculated, making people more curious about what they could be now that he couldn't dismiss the expenses as being ignorant of them. And then the meeting was turned to the quote-unquote creditors.
Okay, I have no further questions. Are there creditors on the line?
Hello?
Yes, are you a creditor?
There was only one person willing to confront Phil. It was a troll concealed as a creditor from Citibank who had one burning question.
Reviewing your filing, it looks like you stated here that you have about $5,000 a month in business expenses. Can you itemize that for me?
Hold on.
What followed was a few seconds of silence. Phil was likely in conversation with his trustee and came back with this.
Players on Sentai T2 do use magic. Oh
Nancy,
yeah, it's free. It's on
I'm not
Crunchyroll.
sure
Ooh.
This person is for Citibank.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
While the troll continued to masquerade as a representative of Citibank, through his persistence that Phil was attempting to distract from the question, there was issue with his question. With the meeting looking at the Schedule J form, the questions were pertaining to Phil's personal expenses. This is a personal bankruptcy. His business was only glanced over, with the attendees satisfied with Phil's solid, esoteric explanations.
In the bed, are you?
Yep. Just looking at your lighting. I'm glad I suggested that to Mom.
Yep. I'm actually gonna need a new one of those. This is the one that's back there to light the back of the room burnt out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I kind of figured it would because it wasn't it wasn't pairing up with the app anymore, and it was kind of flickering.
Yeah. Well, that was your first one you ever bought, hon. So
Sounds like it, yeah. But I did buy that one shortly after, so I'm gonna look at something else too. Maybe I can because I kind of want to get the lighting strip to go behind this to light all that behind me.
Everything behind.
Yeah, because I see
behind?
the consoles and shit there.
So right inside the backs of the your little cube cases.
Yeah.
There might be something.
Yeah. Work's got some stuff. Let's take a look there. Oh, Johnny Young, Bush Bear. Oh, that'd be funny. All right.
Kiss goodnight.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you on the TV upstairs.
Sounds good to me. Which I haven't seen oh god, let me
Tomorrow night is garbage night, so all the clear goes out.
Yeah. Okay, no activity on YouTube. Okay, that's okay. I was just making sure that as I had to update there's the app for stream elements so I can see both chats. So I'll just make sure that's working there. Nope. Trying to do this one-handed.
And so they referred him to his personal expenses, which were already broken down. Not too long after the meeting ended, with just one more outburst from a troll.
Why am I poisoned? Why am I toxic?
This meeting, in terms of wanting to expose Phil, was a failure. Phil's bankruptcy case was closed, and he surrendered his Connecticut condo and remained streaming. Though it did show there was an additional consequence of Phil's long-standing internet presence and infamy. The children that may have watched him in 2010 and grew to him over time have aged and become adults who are more proficient in all things, like trolling and archiving. Archiving, like creating graphs, meant to keep track of Phil's expenses. This, compared to future archiving methods, made these appear rudimentary.
Okay, now we got to work on the hands.
The visualization of this data makes it clear-cut that Phil's earnings are on the rise. It was long thought that his channel would fade out, but year after year, it's been persistent. This is where a different archiving tool helps. PicPicGo is a website that scours Phil's massive catalog of tens of thousands of videos. The way it works is you put in a phrase. This searches Phil's YouTube transcripts and lists them in order by date. You can also search within a specific date and visualize the usage of a word through the trend option. And if we type invest with a space on both sides, that way we don't get words like investment or vested, we get results relating only to the word vest. This word was not just used for demonstration, but also because this article of clothing correlates with Phil's surge of earnings.
And now let's talk a little bit about the high character. I mean, come on. People are saying I should look for the vest. Oh my god. I'll go look very quickly.
Oh my god.
I know exactly where it would be. It would be in my front closet if I still have it. I don't think I have it, but I'll go check quickly. I'll be right back.
I don't seem to have it.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. I just couldn't find the I couldn't find the vest. I don't know where it was. It was right there in the closet.
The vest is an item that Phil wore in the past and was being noticed during a retrospective stream. What he perceived to be a funny moment was turning out to be something bigger. It was sticking with viewers, and they wanted more of it.
What? Evil Williams says, I think the black DSP merch t-shirt really contrasts the vest. It brings out the positive side of Phil. Phil be dabbing on detractors with this new fresh streaming look. Every day, I will do something different. One day I'll wear sunglasses. One day I'll wear a vest. Yeah, like it matters. It doesn't matter. Anyway. So we had the tips goal, I'll wear the vest. If we raise $200, I'll wear the vest and the cowboy hat. If we raise $1,000 in the next hour on my Minecraft stream, I will hop on one foot and sing Kumbaya while I'm wearing the vest and the cowboy hat. How about that? See how stupid this shit is? The thing is, I'm not kidding you. They're like Twitch streamers that this is what happens, and this is what they do. And they make the money, too. Like, it's insane. Like, wow. They just pull stunts
watch them do it.
Stream, and people will toss money their way for pulling a crazy stunt.
As combative as Phil was with wearing the vest for jest, the continued request to wear it and the potential of earnings was too great, and he began to cave in.
Yes, I will tell you guys, I will put on the vest if we hit the tips goal for tonight. There you go. It seems to be a new running thing that people want me to put on the vest, so.
Even though he caved in this one time, he wanted to be straightforward that this wouldn't be a common occurrence.
We're not incentivizing those things all the time. It was something silly the other night. Someone joked and said when I put on the vest for a certain tip, and I said, if we hit the tips goal tonight, I'll put on the vest. And then we hit the tips goal. So I put on the vest, just to be silly. But it's not going to be something that happens every day.
If only Phil knew how wrong he was.
Thank you very much. You have just pushed us over. That gets us to $106 in tips. We have reached vest streak number 13. We're on an unprecedented 16 vest streak. We're on a 20 vest streak. Now we're up to 63. We're currently at vest streak 96.
All right.
With 126 vest streak. We are very closely approaching the 150 vest streak.
Yeah, did Nia Jax kill a cheetah? Is Nia Jax on Raw?
Holy shit, thank you guys.
What Phil's audience...
This is the latest Doom runs on everything you can play Doom as a PDF.
I get it!
concocted was his easiest way to make money yet. If the stream hits $100, he will put the vest on. So long as the $100 were hit, the vest streak, as it was called, was maintained. This made certain that Phil was making at least $100 during the streak. Phil also added additional articles of clothing that could be worn for increased donations. As to double down on the success, Phil even began selling merchandise celebrating the vest.
Guys, FYI, I'm only streaming for 10 minutes unless this continues longer than 10 minutes, which it might, but I'm only streaming for about another 10 minutes, so no lie, unless we hit the tips go within about 10 minutes, this is the end of the vest streak. It's going to end at 179. Albert Aponte is $29.30. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Alfred tonight, we have reached the tips goal.
The vast streak almost ended in the month of July. Phil expressed his concern of it both in and outside the stream.
I can't go late. I wasn't kidding. Like, I'm done. The game is over, and it looks like the vest streak's over.
Oh.
So I don't know why people were, like, if people were holding tips or whatever tonight.
On September 8th, Phil had made just $13. While viewers had pulled through a few times to rescue the vest streak, the difference
I should probably do the other hand here, too.
And unrealistic for anyone to save it this time.
But yeah, like, I was hoping to keep the vest streak going so that I could actually afford both new consoles and everything, and now it's over. So.
While Phil prolonged his stream a few more minutes, no donator swooped in with a large sum to save the vest streak, and it died on day 276. Phil knew that it had to die eventually, yet was greatly displeased in the moment that it happened. The next stream, Phil was quick to try to find a different trend.
Now, my wife had a crazy suggestion. All right? I know people are immediately going to jump on this, but because it's fucking stupid and embarrassing. But my wife said,
but you'll do it because you'll get money.
A tier 2 tips goal. Here's what you should do. You guys ready for this? This is her 100%. This was her suggestion. All right, you ready?
Spinning in his chair as the reward did not catch on, Phil just kept the articles of clothing as standard reward for the tips goal. Yet with the streak gone, so was all the hype, and Phil's earnings had dipped once more. Taking this opportunity, detractors paid a mix of internet figures and wrestlers to make cameos.
Oh, here we go.
Phil, it's Kevin Nash. I mean, I've fucking read some disturbing things in my life, but Jesus Christ, I mean, you spent $40,000 on a WWE Championship mobile game. You went into bankruptcy for half a mil. You play video games all day long while your wife works her ass off. You masturbated on YouTube, live stream. They wanted to prosecute you, but they said your penis was so small they couldn't actually make it out. So they couldn't tell whether you were masturbating or playing with a fucking skin tag. When I got your dossier from the fucking almighty fucking Egg Gang, I said to myself, this is a sick puppy. This is somebody who needs some fucking serious fucking help.
Dark Side Phil, what the fuck is your problem, dude? How the fuck do you have such a great business degree, dude, and you're a fucking $500,000 in debt? What a fucking idiot. Valedictorian of what?
That's John
fucking
O'Clock.
Muppet fucking theater, you moron.
Dark Side Phil doesn't understand the depths to which he has sunk. So first and foremost, spending 40 grand on WWE Champions mobile game? At least gamble it away. But on the mobile game, embarrassing. And the fact that because you sit around the house and you allow your wife to work while you're playing video games and you're going 500 grand, 500 large in debt, embarrassing.
It is important to remember that both his detractors and fans would be willing to...
How sad does it have to be that you get outclassed by the coach? The fucking coach! Come on, Phil.
spend money on either side. His fans in
Gonna need a
particular
censor for
consider
that
the most
one.
generous on Twitch.
Like I would say about like $800.
That was ex-viewer PW Dubs estimating how much he donated to Phil. But why would he donate so much?
I never like get tipped to help him out. The reason I tipped really was just to try to get a reaction out of him.
With PW Dubs continually attempting to get a rise out of Phil, bans were common. But because he was donating, so were unbans.
Over time, I would say things that sometimes get me banned, but eventually I just send an email and I'll get unbanned.
Like with most donators with the intent to troll Phil does eventually become exhausted with their excuses. This back and forth through email got to the point that PW Dubs was arguing that he lived in Texas. Phil kept refuting that he did. So unprompted, PW Dubs does this.
I was trying to do like a gotcha moment, like when I sent him the email saying I do live in Texas, like there's proof that I live in Texas.
PW Dubs sent Phil an image of his driver's license, where he self-centered certain sections himself with scribbles of black lines through MS Paint. Censored was his face, the expiry date, street address, and license ID. What Phil then did...
Now this is super dented. I don't understand why you would do this. It's like, hey, I prove I live here. Why? Why? I don't know if PW Dubs did this to like prove that Phil would dox you if given the opportunity or not, but come on.
Was post this email to a secret moderator Discord that included about 11 other members, remarking, quote, I mean Jesus, why are we even at this point? I don't want to card my fucking stream chatters, unquote. The few moderators that responded shared in this confusing sentiment. But Phil posting this license, even though it was somewhat censored through PW Dubs, meant that he had doxed him. Phil had revealed his private information, though it was only to a small, uninterested group. With this information, a rat, well more so a mouse, took note of Phil's transgression. This rogue mod, known as Anonymous or Anony for short, was in talks with QB4 members to verify themselves and leak both the secret Discord chat logs and prove Phil had doxed PW Dubs. But Phil was catching on. Now in 2021, this came to a head mid-March.
Like the Anonymous, they had the power in like Twitch chats to like change the title of the stream. So they like changed the title of when Phil was streaming. He changed the title to Dark Side Phil docs PW Dubs. He made that the title.
Following this, and Anonymous's departure, Phil had to defend his doxing of PW Dubs and his secret Discord.
So his question specifically is, why didn't you ever mention that you had a Discord? We asked you before if you used Discord, you said no. Because it has nothing to do with anyone watching the stream.
The doxing, the Discord, and his treatment of Anonymous
Doesn't matter,
made its
you
way to
lied.
Reddit, where it was fast to gain traction. Anonymous, in his post, made sure to censor everything the driver's license had on it except the word driver's license. Phil admitted that he shared the license in a small moderator Discord, but used the small size of the Discord and the fact that PW Dubs censored some of it himself in his defense. Then came the argument that Phil did not share the censored version, confusing Anonymous's full censor against PW Dubs' partial censor. Even so, it was all a bad look for Phil. And not just Phil, but also Anonymous. In a place like Kiwi Farms, posts range from general observations, to memes, to full vitriol, all of which is typically welcome. To step foot in the space is to realize that everyone is a potential target. All elements of you can be criticized and brought forward for the sake of entertainment. Anonymous was no exception. Nigel UKIP was set on giving Anonymous a proper welcome by making fun of his appearance and his launch of his streaming career. This comes with the perspective some detractors across several communities hold that earning revenue online while existing in proximity to detractors is a sin, as some view Phil and other streamers like Wings of Redemption as chronic e-beggars who are constantly unappreciative of fan support and money, though most won't care and are just there for the entertainment. And when Baby Anonymous's alternative fur baby fetish Twitter was noticed, that's all they got. The contents of this Twitter are highly disturbing and for that reason cannot and should not be shown.
Diaper photos. That was
Oh god.
situation they had like.
Damien Priest time he's bringing out the
It's like
toys.
so much stuff in this vortex. It's crazy. It's like so many.
With Anonymous's image irrevocably
Oh,
defiled
PDFs
through his
from
own
Gundan
means, he
Strip.
dropped
Ooh.
off from the community entirely. As for what happened to Phil, practically nothing. This behavior was already expected from him. Besides, surprises don't come from Phil. They come from everything else.
Oh, look at that. There's some kind of a glitch.
Oh, here comes.
Only Iced Coffee just realized there's a glitch on Twitch. Everyone's subscriber crowns turned bronze for no reason. What the hell?
Yeah, there's a reason.
Apparently, something just happened very bad is what happened, guys. Apparently something very, very bad just happened. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It literally just happened this moment. The subs are going away permanently. Apparently, they kicked me out of the partnership program, and I don't know why.
No one knew it at the time, but...
What's the appropriate one for this? Sure.
Phil's suspension from his Twitch partnership was, according to Phil, because of the massive influx of reports of him using harmful language. Following this was the greatest weapon ever developed against Darkside Phil. Rated by user Piece of Peace, the DSP Tips Tracker spreadsheet is equipped with table
Big
after
ups,
table
Piece of
analyzing
Peace.
Phil's daily earnings from his AM and PM streams.
New daddy.
This included what game he played, who was the top tipper, how much did he make on average, how did this compare to the average. It also included analysis on his Patreon, YouTube, and Twitch. Phil's excuses, poor spending habits, and as it were, e-begging would be challenged with evidence like never before, and as such became immediately useful.
I'll be playing Mass Effect 1 Remastered in a marathon setting, and my goal that day is to raise funds via tips or patron pledges to pay the bills that I need to pay this month because I am not going to be getting any payment for my Twitch partnership because they canceled it.
Phil, on May 6, nearly 2 weeks after being departnered, set on raising money to pay his bills now in fear that he won't be receiving his Twitch partnership money pre the departnering. But if we look at the spreadsheet, between the 22nd of April, which is when he was departnered, and May 6, when he made the announcement, he already made $5,797 solely from tips. Not YouTube, not Patreon, just tips.
I'm trying to make it so I hit every tips goal this week to help me coming up with my mortgage because I don't even know what's going to happen with Twitch. I don't know if they're going to pay me or not for all the work that I did last month after being losing my partnership.
Works.
I'm looking to hit the tips goal every stream now between now and when I have to pay my mortgage in the middle of the month. I have no other income apparently because it sounds like Twitch isn't going to pay me for last month. I'm going to pay my bills, pay my mortgage and everything because I'm not going to get that payment I depend on every month. You know, fundraising to pay my mortgage, to pay my back taxes and the stuff for the rest of the month. As for the mortgage, yes, I hope that things go well and I can pay my mortgage on Saturday. Please support this marathon stream. I need the help. Particularly I need it for tomorrow.
Bag. Got 40 minutes left. I got curious, like, is he live tonight? Oh God, no. Oh, let's check out Lane. Oh, boy, big ups that Lane is ranged. Too hot for TV. Is this moves that bad right now? Oh fuck. Oh yeah, he's playing on mouse and keyboard too. Call of Duty. You should give it to him. And he did you change the font again? Come on, Phil. Is this supposed to? He's like, guys, I changed the font of my ticker. You should give me money now. Fuck's sakes. Now, Phil, why don't you get a job? It's too much work, group. She got that clip of Dr. Phil telling that bratty chick, it's like, you need to get a job. No, I don't want to. Oh, it's too much work. Oh, I gotta get like Linda Drain does these co-streams with tractors called Going in Green. Or Green Time or whatever it's called. Or basically like he smokes a bowl and we just watch This Is How You Don't Play. And I kind of had one I want to do with him if he's up for it. I want to do because Melly and I have been playing it recently, Gears of War. I want to do some This Is How You Don't Plays on Gears of War. Yeah.
Oh, pay my mortgage, so if you can, please support.
That was Phil, throughout his marathon stream, petitioning his audience for even more money to cover his bills and mortgage. Which, without the added pressure of the debts he used to have, means that he already had enough at this point with the over $5,000 he raised. By the 14th of May, he made another $5,000. The total between April 22nd and May 14th was $10,252. Someone approached Phil with this information, which he dismissed. To make matters more interesting, Phil did end up getting paid the money owed from Twitch and framed this as, quote, just enough to get me through the next week, unquote. This vagueness will no longer fly. On top of this, Phil admits, even though he claims to be perpetually financially destabilized, he doesn't know or keep.
Oh, who is Priest fighting? With the weapons. Like, is he still after Finn Balor?
Track of his finances.
I don't know. I'm not really tracking all this stuff. I'm just not. I'm not going to track all this financially and see every day what I'm making. It's ridiculous.
Detractors were making memes, especially as Phil's unappreciative nature became ever more grating to them.
Tips were released after pre-stream. No, tips were good until the break. Since I came back from break, there's been 0 contributions. 0. Yeah, because I guess people don't allow a streamer to take a break, you know, because I have to, you know, shit and piss and maybe get out of this chair for 20 minutes so that I don't get blood clots, but not acceptable apparently in modern day. You take a break, fuck it.
Reactions in chat differ from Phil's whining. Some feel guilty for not hitting the tips goal of $150, while others remark that $136 is already a sizable amount. What stayed true was Phil was growing ever more frustrated during this time.
All right, well, we're gonna end it here. It's platinum vest. I'll put the vest on. Fine. I'll sweat. I'll sweat disgustingly. Since I'm about to sweat disgustingly on the stream because I'm wearing this vest. All right. It would be nice It would be nice if we could hit the tips goal today. I'm just saying. We got about 45 minutes left on today's stream. It would be very nice since I'm about to sweat profusely for 45 minutes.
Oh my God.
I would really appreciate that. All right, I'm just saying. Sonic Hat Defense Force to me $1.30 says, don't you think you're being oblique? $150 for suffering a few hours sounds fine to me. That's because you're stupid. Seriously, that's because you're stupid. If you don't understand that sitting in this office and sweating profusely, being incredibly unhealthy and uncomfortable to make a few bucks is a bad thing, you're an asshole. And I mean that.
Then don't do it. Then don't do it. Go work a real job.
Phil, you make me angry, Phil. I get this. Like, I mean, how dumb can you be? I might as well just fucking, do completely crazy shit on the stream constantly, putting myself in harm's way. What, are you dumb? Yes. If you don't understand the difference between, oh, let's purchase a hat. That's a hat meant to be worn normally by a human. It doesn't overheat you. It doesn't hurt your body. It's meant to be designed so it doesn't hurt your neck or whatever. A nice hat, right? Versus a fucking costume you're only supposed to wear, for a few minutes momentarily for a party or something. You don't get the difference? You're an idiot.
Few minutes? What party are you going to that you can't wear a costume for a few minutes? Hey, you know the people that wear costumes for a few minutes? People that go to conventions and have like 20,000 cosplays ready to go. But they're putting the work in. Just look comfortable. Fuck off. Seriously. All right. Give me a sec, guys. I am going to, speaking of breaks, I do need to take one. So I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll also get something to drink. So hang tight. I'll be right back. Lots of videos of me having fun.
The question I had for myself the other night, I was like, who is the United States champion right now?
Oh, come on.
I didn't know that was possible.
It took control from me. It just went, no, you don't have control anymore. Fuck you.
Gotta get some workout on this, at least. How's chat? What's chat think of this?
Beautiful.
That would be the ceiling.
Oh, I saw that happen. Great aim.
Yes! Oh!
All rounds clear, Spartan. Simulation complete.
He flew up in the air! I don't care! Wow! Down to the wire, I lasted 3 rounds in the Banshee. Yes! Where's my dump? I don't have a dumpster fire set up. I should. Oh! Doing good. Surprise, but this level is this mini game is starting to test my patience because they don't give you enough time. I did it! Suck that, fool! It's you and the pigeon.
Oh,
It's you and the pigeon.
Oh! Go, Jimbo! Go, Jimbo! You got this!
You got it!
Yeah! Fuck yeah! Let's go!
Fucking clip that! Let's go!
That's a first. That's the first time that's actually worked for me.
Good job. Sound strategy.
Thanks.
All right, let's see. What? That's the morph ball? Oh, I love it too. That's awesome.
You've been given command of an advanced human warship for your missions. Is there anything you'd like to say about it?
Fuck it, doing it.
I've had enough of your snide insinuations.
You bitch! I'll make sure everyone in the Alliance sees that. Your career is over.
Hello, I'm the Master Chief from the popular video game cities, Halo.
Hello, I am the Master Chief from the popular video game series, Fortnite.
There we go, folks.
There we go. It won't bring the gun back.
Good night, everyone. That's it. We're on a high note.
Oh, I glitched out a little bit. All right, we're back. I also forgot today was Monday, so I had to take my Ozempic. I got a new shot for it too. Oh, right, we're doing the hands.
As if to ease from the serious drama starting 2021, attention was again shifted to moments Phil made a fool of himself. And of course, moments like these on stream.
Now,
Oh, it's King of the Ring.
Where did it go? What the fuck? He had a gun. I wanted to get it. It disappeared. Yeah, I didn't get it. For some reason, I don't know how to get a gun off of a guy. But he had a big ass gun I wanted, and I didn't get it.
It is important to remember that it was not just detractors, fans, or uninteractive viewers from both sides that were paying attention to Phil.
Because we've shown you that these new items and abilities give you lots of different gameplay in the different levels.
There we go. Santa Monica,
Growers motivate.
GC.
And most importantly, we can actually use that motivation to prioritize exploration. Here's a quick example. I want you to watch what the player does here as he boats around.
The taste of Vanya magic led him to new forms of experimentation.
We're back.
New levels of depravity.
The top 3 comments on this video read, quote, "The unstoppable force of nature that is DSP is single-handedly making the gaming industry worse by simply playing games. You live in a timeline where DSP has game companies making games catering to him. What a horrible time to live in where DSP is the standard audience games are aimed at." Unquote.
I 100% blame Darkside Phil for Mimir in Ragnarok. It's Darkside Phil's fault that in God of War Ragnarok, Mimir has to tell you how to solve the fucking puzzle. Can't just figure it out on your own. No, it's because of the Darkside Phils of the world. And especially Darkside Phil. He has to go, oh, look, if you throw the axe, you can freeze the water. Like, I think I streamed Ragnarok once, and I never went back to it on stream. I beat it myself off stream, but it was kind of an arduous task to do that. Ooh, War Raiders on the stream. Oop. So are they doing tonight Raw the post not post show, the god damn it, what's it called? Are they doing the commercial break interviews again? Like I guess you guys wouldn't know because you guys are international.
During this entire time, his finances were still being tracked. However, for one person, this was not enough, and they decided to take matters into their own hands.
It's never good enough for these crazy conspiracy theorist nut jobs who want to hurt me, and now they've taken it too far. It's one thing just literally saying, okay, here's conspiracies about Phil. It's another thing committing federal crimes against me.
Yes, so someone just randomly posted that they went ahead and accessed his bank leaks on using Bank of America, using their
bank
cell phone
leaks,
and reverse engineering his social security number to go ahead and figure out how to access. And Bank of America has an option where you can go ahead and repeat the last 10 transactions. He did that about 500 times.
This is to the point of now major repercussions. And I hope people understand that. Anyone who's talking about this, not knowing fully what they're saying is true or not, guess what? You're part of the problem and you're part of the issue, and you are going to be held accountable too. It's just that simple. You're part of it now. You're actually passing around stuff that should not be passed around, and you're going to be in trouble just as well. So
literally nothing happened from this. So this is the bank leaks. And let me reiterate, this is highly illegal. However, the information is out there, so why not use it?
This event would be known as the bank leaks. Charted, graphed, and described to the best of the user's abilities, the information from the bank leaks was added to the tips tracker as a separate page. Phil's supposed transactions from March 3rd, 2020 to September 17th, 2021, the day the user supposedly accessed Phil's account, are now archived for everyone to see.
Over the last week, it has come to my attention and my knowledge finally that I have been subject to the crime of identity theft. A federal crime, by the way. I got a notification via email about someone messing around in one of my accounts, which then led me to research it and find out that, this was happening.
At the same time, Phil gets a notification that someone has stolen his identity right at the same time the bank leaks come out and possibly trigger a failsafe. But due to Phil's own web lies, Phil is walking a very, very thin tightrope. The reason becomes clear why Phil cannot right out admit that someone accessed his bank account. On several occasions, there are transactions that are only labeled as PayPal. Some only labeled Apple iTunes. They happen with such frequency, back to back to back, that immediately becomes suspicious. And more importantly, they are all the exact same amounts. Several transactions of $11, $16.51, and $110.09. If you deduct the Washington sales tax from these, you get a more rounded number. The $110.09 becomes $99.99, and the $11 becomes $9.99. This can be easily correlated with the packages available on WWE Champions. These in the pie charts are labeled as microtransactions and make up around 1/4 in his spendings. In these 18 months, Phil spent around $44,000 on microtransactions. These are not the only purchases, which shows his dysfunctional nature. In September 2020 alone, the month the vet streak ended, he spent $258 on alcohol. These are all reasons why Phil cannot state his bank account was accessed, because it would simultaneously prove that he is an alcoholic with a gambling addiction, and that his many emergency streams were...
I hope you weren't fully invested in Final Fantasy versus White 6 because the White 6 have been moved to SmackDown. Oh, wait, is that still that whole, what was that, trade deadline or whatever their new, like, the Superstar shakeup or whatever their bullshit reasoning is for, like, why people are showing up on both shows? Like, they do this, at this point, I'm not surprised and I don't care. It's like, oh yeah, here's the reason why they can show up. It's like, whatever, you just transfer window. Yeah, transfer window. Just admit that the whole like separate brand thing, you're good for like the first couple months, then you have to pretend it doesn't exist for Survivor Series, and especially the Royal Rumble, and then finally at the end for Mania. And at the end of Mania, it's time to shake things up again.
We're only for the sake of
arms are
done.
done.
Microtransactions. Another layer of this is that Phil, if the bank leaks were fake, could easily disprove them. But the correlation between the bank leaks and his purchases are so tight, it seems he is unable to do so. So what he has done was just ignore it altogether. There is no way out of this one without a strong explanation, which Phil cannot muster. This was not even the wildest thing that came out in proximity of Phil this year.
But there is one streamer that, forgot to turn off the camera. Yeah. Do you know, have you seen that one?
Well, I know of one. I dare not say the name.
No, he doesn't deserve attention. He's a piece of shit. Yeah.
It was not PewDiePie referencing Phil, it was this post on Kiwi Farms. Quote, let me preface with this. I know I'm a degenerate, but curiosity got the better of me, and I ended up seeing Officer Sanders IRL. I think I may be...
No. I wish I had that clip of PvP. I can't unfuck your girlfriend. Or I can't unfuck your sister-in-law. Okay, this was kind of cringy, the whole Jenna thing, where it's just like, hey, I'm a known detractor, and I know your sister-in-law is an escort, so I'm gonna find out where she is, pay for sex, and tell you all about it.
Be traumatized. The autism was just that bad. I got a room which I told her she could stay the night in, so she brought her hobo pack. She had a panic attack shortly after, so we had to talk for an hour to bring her down. Out of nowhere, she started talking about her sister and brought up one Phil Brunel. She had a container of Kool-Aid mix, so she added some to a bottle of water and was drinking from it. But for some reason, she thought it would be a good idea to add it to her bath and ended up trashing the bathtub. She splashed it on herself so it stained her skin. She did it to create content for OnlyFans, which should be up. Jesus. She then smoked some dink, we did stuff, and that was that. I need to reevaluate my life choices. Unquote. If it weren't for the pictures, this would be seldom believable. But as evidence was brought forth, it was clear that a troll had
Oh, it was just a hand that fell. Okay.
This really only scratches the surface of the rabbit hole pertaining to Phil's extended family. As for Phil himself, by
I'm not
2022,
too
he
worried
had survived
about,
many generations of YouTube and was being exposed to the newest generation of users and creators. A type of these creators fall under the category of virtual YouTubers, or VTubers for short. They are notable for their cutesy anime avatars. The juxtaposition between their and Phil's persona makes for an interesting watch.
I'm here, we're gonna name Phil. Yay, let's name him. Make Christian begin.
You're gonna look up at you like, huh? Heck yeah.
You are now Phil.
Raw ends is a good raw.
One,
What?
You
Raw end?
Phil.
Raw's over. It's half an hour, or half an hour early. So this is what Triple H means by like it just could literally end at any time. All right, so yeah, that leg piece I still got to work on there, but yeah, we got the arms done on him. Okay, well, I want to keep going until we finish. I want to go for another half hour. You at least got to finish the documentary. So next up, and I'll form the head.
Was one purpose.
It sure does. It sure does. I have some gold nuggets, but they're not like ingots or anything, so we can't really actually use them.
This chance happening of VTuber Gura naming a random NPC Phil is phenomenal for many reasons. To start, the NPC she named is a piglin. Phil's derisive nickname is Pig Roach. Both of them are known to snore.
Oh no,
Gura also has
they
a
require
piglin trapped in a
stickers.
cage, which is a rather insulting position to be in. The in-game purpose of trapping this NPC is to utilize a mechanic that allows players to exchange gold ingots for random items from the piglin. The piglin will also attack you if you are not wearing a gold item. This greed and desire for gold from the NPC is just another reason this chance occurrence is remarkable.
I'm gonna get gold out of you, Phil. I'm gonna get all types of goodies out of you, Phil.
It is also standard that VTubers, like any other content creator, mock Phil.
I think the good old DSP, the guy who can't complete a game. You know, it's honestly a wonder that DSP is still around to this day. He's like a relic. He belongs in a museum. He's made his career entirely off being bad and horrible. Which, I'm gonna be honest, at this point, I literally can't tell if it's an act and he's just really committed. I can't tell.
How do you even do that? Well, that's the problem with DSP, is he blames everybody else for his problems instead of just recognizing the problem and then seeking a resolution for it.
All right.
The most viral category was
Wow,
by
that's
far
so
a comparison
crazy.
video titled Cute Anime Girl versus Disgruntled Old Man.
What are these? A bunch of little
Do I want
balls?
to know movies I've actually watched? Yeah. Oh yes! Tears of the Kingdom. Here we go.
Can we grab them? Yes, we can.
Are we making like a
There's... Huh?
excavator?
Are we just putting all the balls in here or something? Once again, I'm just supposed to magically know what we're doing, even though the game has absolutely no explanation for anything.
I see.
While the VTuber properly solves a puzzle with the items laid out, Phil bumbles through and solves it in the wrong and most difficult way, effectively introducing himself to a new audience.
Clip that one, you sons of bitches. Wow, that was a really ingeniously thought out puzzle, wasn't it?
This, without doubt, funneled more people into the rabbit hole that is DSP. And there will be many more to come, because Phil announced that he abandoned the 10-year plan of trying to get a regular job to one where he's trying to diversify himself online.
But what the 10-year plan has essentially evolved into is within 10 years, diversify myself enough on the internet that now I'm not just the gamer guy anymore, right? Now I'm known for other things, right? You watch my podcast, you can come to a React event, you can see Phil do other shit and not even care about the gameplay, and that's all well and good.
There was a major refocusing on Phil's image, via a greater focus on his request of donations. Reddit post after popular Reddit post, discussion of Phil's ungratefulness and constant requests for donations were on an uptick. In October, it was found that in 8 hours, within 6 tweets, Phil was constantly petitioning for more money. Even moments where he got some goodwill were instantly tossed aside. Like this react stream where Phil finally reacts to the 2015 John Rambo podcast. A criticism within this podcast is how Phil monetizes everything. And since this react was a goal and Phil wanted to avoid proving John Rambo right, he states this.
And I have actively decided that today, since I will be doing this React event, that I am not monetizing it at all. There will be no advertisements on this stream. There are no advertisements on these on-demand videos on YouTube at all.
This multi-hour long stream was not monetized. But the next day, Phil pops on and says this.
The only times that I monetized anything that entire day when I did a 12-hour marathon was the pre-stream and a Feasting with the King video. Sadly, that didn't really do much. So effectively, that was kind of a dead day for me when it comes to business, which is fine. I was expecting that. But today, what I was hoping is that there would be a rallying on my streams of people to come and support, and it didn't happen. In fact, today was an abnormally slow day, even for a weekend.
This is where Phil was at. Similarly, there was a very important keyword, slowest. This is very important because typing it into PigPigGo shows that the word is primarily used in one way.
Every time I play it, it ends up being the slowest stream of the week when it comes to support, and it's always my slowest night, you know? The conclusion at Earthbound, it was one of the slowest streams I've ever done, which really sucks. This is one of the slowest days I've had in months. The Call of Duty stream today was one of the slowest streams I've done in ages. I don't know what happened there. Support of the stream was always hit or miss. Sometimes it'd be one of the slowest streams I ever did in a week.
This was never really a secret. It was just being discussed more because Phil didn't care to mask it, and the tips tracker would not allow him to form a more complex excuse for why he needed more money. The discussion of Phil eventually found its way to Critical Stream, which came secondary to the discussion of a different creator.
Obviously, I want to finish it, you know, but I toughed it out for you guys tonight, and I got nothing out of it.
Sir Moist.
He then goes on to say, like, he doesn't even know if he'll be able to afford Gotham Knights on Friday because no one has donated enough, and he's not sure if they'll donate enough tomorrow.
If Phil's objective was to reimagine himself, he was doing a rather poor job of it. And in the middle of all this, he made a terrible mistake.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Daily Wrap.
On Phil's desk was his phone. On his phone was a rather familiar-looking layout. As was quickly pieced together, Phil was logged into WWE Champions. The game he states he did not play since 2018 because they were a waste of time and money. Time after time, Phil lied about not playing WWE Champions, but was finally caught in this lie. This did have a silver lining. His screen was too far off to make out a name, and so while it's irrefutably confirmed that Phil was actively playing it, Phil was now stating that he was playing it under a different account and that he wasn't the infamous Down from the Rafters. This had reached a state that existing evidence hardly did anything. Most were already convinced that Phil had a mobile gaming addiction, and those unwilling to engage with the evidence were already unreachable in their misplaced trust of Phil, who lives in contradiction.
I guess for some people, honesty is not the best policy. To some people, lie, I guess. I don't know. You have to be
Okay, I gotta take a little bit of a detour because
Phil, you make me angry, Phil.
I watched the Christmas episode. A Christmas Classic knows Die Hard. I've seen Escape from New York. I've seen Highlander, or as I like to call it, Raiden versus Raiden. Or Raiden versus Raiden. Oh my god! You're right, because Clancy Brown voices Raiden in Defenders of the Realm. I never put that together. Jesus, sorry, you just blew my mind. Thank you for that. I have not seen... Okay, now that you've seen Highlander, do not watch the sequels. Do not watch the sequels. Especially The Quickening. You will hate Highlander all over. Is this one? But yeah, I gotta take a little bit of a detour here. Hang on. Len, how are you doing? Or how's he doing? No super chats, no top tip. Oh my god. He's like 40 minutes into the stream and he has no support. Get fucked, Phil. Okay, I gotta go to Secret Limited's video because I need to see. Oh yeah, Endgame, yeah. None of them are good. None of them are good. And there's lightning and shit, so it's even more fitting. But I can see the sorcerer. No. Oh yeah, there's Max's react to that. Okay, Secret Limited DSP. Okay. Also, Secret, I still gotta finish your Tekken 8 video. Other than that, because like you You put so much time in that, and Andrew put so much time into that. I need to see it. All right.
Fucking right mind. No, they
Actually, fucking sad to see.
doing. If you are.
You gotta be fucking. Someone just said what bills? Again, stolen my.
This is the leaderboard button. 10%.
The next 4 days to pay these bills that are all coming due around
Yeah.
Wednesday-ish. Okay.
Apparently even incurred overdraft fees when he was buying microtransactions.
You have a gambling addiction.
Exactly. He is paid.
And honestly,
Uploaded on the 23rd. Yellow button.
Okay, it's not there. All right. I was waiting for the... Because there's a sequence of events. Can you watch the TV series? The TV series with Aaron Paul. Or not Aaron Paul. God, what's his name? Adrian Paul? I don't think it's that bad. Like, you're not going to get... let me spoil it. You're not going to get Connor McLeod. It's... No, it's Connor McLeod. Wait. Oh, God. I can't remember which McLeod's... Christopher Lampert's and which one's like Duncan McLeod or Connor McLeod. I can't remember. It's a McLeod. I heard the TV show's not that bad, but just don't watch Highlander the Source, the final movie. Like, it's like Highlander's all over the place. It's weird. Yeah, so I was trying to find, I wish June would put this in, but there's a sequence. Someone made a sequence and you can't get it because he deleted one of the videos. But like, it was a sequence of him saying, I don't play WWE Champions, I don't play mobile games, I don't play this, I don't play that, da, 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 da. And then when he gets caught off in that June the 1st thing, or that June 23rd thing, he goes, I told you I played mobile games. And it's like, and you fucking lied, and you got caught. So guess what? Go fuck yourself.
Moron.
Lampert is
I'm sorry,
cornered. Okay.
I mean, how dumb can you be to not understand that being honest about something, right, is the right thing to do? Oh my god, something happened with Jaffer. I could completely lie to you guys to try to get sympathy and make money. I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'm gonna be honest and upfront with you. I'm not gonna ever lie to you and tell you things that aren't true, because I'm not that kind of person. But for some people, that's not good enough, I guess.
I work for more
Whatever. Fuck those people.
Phil lies so much, it is hard to know what is fake or fact. His bankruptcy files remain king due to them being legal forms. Then you have lesser evidence like the Discord screenshots or even the bank leaks that could theoretically be faked, but the coordination and dedication would make these chances minuscule. Yet Phil gravitates more towards wild theories himself as a way to represent them and paint the tracker community poorly as a way to also dismiss the valid criticism. And this somewhat works with his fans who have been doxxed, are people with disabilities, are socially inept, or are just lonely.
Yeah. I think he has autism. And this is coming from someone who has it. Because I've got a low level of autism. Asperger's, which formerly called as that is. And I think I told Ian because I've been following him for so long. I don't want to say he felt like a friend, but I felt like some kind of weird, like this is someone I know. I don't really know, but this is someone I've known. The only person I really followed on YouTube for so long, and I felt some kind of attachment, like a buddy in a sense. And I thought, oh, my buddy's in trouble, and I should help him out, you know.
These people exist within every creator's community, but with Phil, that's virtually his entire fanbase. Phil once did have a diverse viewer base, but as his infamy grew and his content stagnated, the only thing he offered is consistency. That really means nothing when levied against other content creators. But consistency to someone who is different is what keeps Phil online. To these people, Phil is very interactive. He is a friend. Or in just the perspective of his content, he is reliable and he is consistent. They have ingrained a habit of watching Phil's content into their daily lives for the past 15 years. The harassment and constant doxing by trolls does scare some of them away. But other times, it may strengthen their attachment to Phil. And attachment is a very strong thing, because when Phil says he is in need, they're willing to help out. Have you ever donated any money to Phil?
Yeah, I mean, I say over the past 5 years, it's probably about $400. I followed a lot of content creators, but the thing is, I don't support them with money. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've never once supported any of them with not even a subscription. I think Phil's the only one I've ever subscribed to. I never thought this out loud or even thought about it, so just now I've never donated to any of them.
These interviews are not entirely representative of Phil's fanbase, as there were only a handful willing to reach out. Others were in fear of exposing themselves. There are, however, endless examples of Phil turning fans into ex-fans. In the best case scenario, you get people like Gamer J. Lee, who was only a fan and modded Phil for a period in the early 2010s. These people may comment or joke about Phil, but rarely take it beyond that.
because I didn't want to basically cause drama. I silently just removed myself as a mod and left. And every once in a while, I'll take jabs at him whenever he does something wrong. Now, am I going to do the fucked up stuff that some detractor channels do? No.
Despite GamerJLee being fairly unengaged, Phil would try to make GamerJLee seem uncredible.
About me on social media all the time, riffing on me, making fun of me, insulting me and my family, and he's regular in detractor circles and all that. And I'm like, so what happened?
Does my channel look like a detractor channel to you? I'm talking about Gears of War and Halo.
Optimally, this is as far as it would go. But when you factor in this happens to his most dedicated fans, that experience is sliding directly from Phil, those intense people, like his fans, have disabilities, are socially inept, or are just lonely, will take their obsession and twist them against Phil.
Even when you denounce that and call him out on his bullshit, there's still a chance you'll get caught up in the crossfire. Because, you know, there's a lot of, you know, people like Mighty D and, stuff that are great, detractor content creators that make great stuff like Snort Brunel and so on and so forth. But then there's the mentally deranged ones. And I gotta say that they are mentally fucking disturbed. The way they will take this and twist it to try and basically do life ruination, even for people that denounce Phil. It's disturbing.
This is how you get people that swat him.
Do you want to name names there, bud? Like, True's so fucking deranged. Like, honestly, like, a lot of us just sit there and watch and point out his inconsistencies and his lies. Like, I mean, if someone was like truly deranged with all this Phil stuff, they could easily show up to his house. They could. But no one does because no one wants to touch the poo. They just want to sit there and laugh. Where's that one? G2. Okay.
Dox him, dox his fans, DDoS his internet, mess with his internet as an alleged employee of Comcast, sleep with his sister-in-law, contact Phil's father to expose Phil, and totes doxing Phil's neighbors and anyone around him as an achievement. What's more, if Phil is several thousand miles away from his family, has long lost connection with friends, and that single only personal refuge is his wife, means his personality curtails around these people. And being in the middle of the vortex, as it is called, means that his words carry much weight from appreciation towards his fans or hate towards his enemies. This has been Phil's life for the past decade and has made him a dull knife. That's why the side-scroller's interview was catastrophic for Phil, keeping in mind that Phil will only allow himself to be...
Now we're at the Craig portion. Once again, for all the trashes out there, I am happy that this is the only thing I'll ever give Craig any amounts of... He was the first one to have a conversation with Phil. But the rest of it, fuck him. Fuck Craig. So yeah, side-scroller's interview, 5 hours long.
Be interviewed by those that are not knowledgeable of his expansive history, he accepted an interview by Stuttering Craig, a co-founder of Scrotac that has gravitated towards podcast-style shows and gaming coverage. Stuttering Craig...
That's not true. Unless he wants to throw, a giant woke on it. God, these two pieces here are super tiny.
Was not very familiar with Phil, and as with anyone covering Phil...
Also, giant lie, he wasn't big on Phil. We have the video he did where he was reacting to old Scrotac stuff, and it was an old Magfest that Phil was at. Recognized him right away. Don't sit there and lie to me and say he didn't know about Phil. And I don't think I'm going to get this decal on. Moving this piece here. What the hell?
He was bombarded by messages of people trying to inform him of what kind of person Phil is. As a response, Craig was trying to temper expectations. And while he would do research for the interview, Craig was making it clear that he was not interviewing Phil with a pre-established stance or to destroy Phil's image.
There's some people who won't be happy unless I just bring Darkside Phil to his knees crying and bawling. And it's like they're going insane. Like they are into Phil has put out guidelines and Craig is...
Oh god. That Travis Keys comment. Or Travis? I remember Travis. Then then Travis started talking to detractors and trying to make his case as to why it was okay to have Melanie Mack on, and it was okay for her to spout the F word, and them not question her about it, and all this shit. Meanwhile, yeah, Death Battle and Hang Time are guests at Magfest. Y'all go say hi to Craig, or not Craig. No, fuck Craig. Never say hi to Craig. Y'all go say hi to Bolin and Grayson.
Phil, what? What are you talking about? What?
What are you talking about?
Craig's lack of commitment towards hating Phil was causing the more paranoid detractors to develop theories. Craig's confusion towards these unsubstantiated theories brought even more paranoia into the mix. At one point, a user even just doxed Craig, quote, just in case something sketchy happens, unquote. And then the interview came. Live to around 2,000 people, starting Craig and Adam Krigler introduced themselves before introducing Phil.
So I guess with all that said, let's get into this. I'm excited to bring on Darkside Phil. Phil, how are you?
Holy crap.
Phil, for the first 30 minutes or so, begins with constant flattery, saying he is a big fan of the show and doesn't miss an episode. While the hosts are appreciative of Phil's words, it's clear they are not swayed by them. As Phil tries to use his time online as expertise, his statements are being challenged.
When you've been around as long as me, you realize you get people from all over the world and for different reasons. If I were
But are they sticking? Are they staying though? Because you know, if you have 500 people come in and they're just kind of coming out, that's actually bad for the algorithm. That's bad. You want people to stay and subscribe.
A big part of Phil wanting to reimagine himself is to get away from controversial jokes about race, or even just conversation about his finances. Phil likely didn't know that the host had evidence of Phil still doing both, which is when the tone of the interview starkly changed.
But I want to bring up, like, there's still jokes that are made that that don't necessarily, like, they don't fit today. And I want to play one for you really.
And yet you will make those same type of jokes, Craig, even worse. So pot calling kettle black here. I don't think I'd forget. All right.
Quick, just kind of get your reaction to this. Okay, so this is yeah.
Oh yeah, here comes the as dust falls, the slave trade joke. Just fair warning.
So you know where this is going, and I want to watch this so we all understand what's going on here.
Get full context.
Make this quick. All right, boys, prepare the slave trade. We're selling her right off for profit. Put the kid in the vehicle. Stay with her. Right, she's too valuable to escape. She's worth lots of money.
Phil tried to grasp at anything to defend himself, stating that it was out of context, that the girl's race wasn't even a factor he considered when he made the joke, and that in today's standards, that joke is somewhat acceptable. None of Phil's rhetoric was convincing. In fact, his constant jumping to different, sometimes contradictory points were putting the host on offense.
The $5,000 business expense thing has been talked about by your detractors quite a bit. They say, what could you possibly be spending $5,000 on? Look,
Expenses that a tax attorney wants to know you're spending every month? Geez, your mortgage, because if you work from home, I guess that's part of it. I don't know. Again, I'm not a tax guy, but it costs your mortgage. All of your utility bills that apply to you operating the business.
Hold on. Phil, you've been doing this for 17 years and you don't know what your business expenses are? You don't know what you get tax write-offs on and stuff? I mean, like...
Specifically? No, I don't.
Phil was pleading ignorance. He pretended to act confused at what his business expenses are, when Phil clearly stated in the Bankruptcy 341 meeting exactly what his business expenses are.
Yeah, and basically anything related to my internet content creation, including, like I said, cost of video games, cost of subscription-based services, microtransactions within video games, cost of internet.
Phil successfully convinced the host that he was unaware of what was categorized as business expense, and so the conversation moved on.
Do you currently still play WWE Champions?
Yes.
With Phil's admittance that he still plays WWE Champions, but not as the Down the Raptors account everyone claims he is, the conversation then moved to the bank leaks, which is something Phil had always skirted.
According to these leaks, there have been dozens, hundreds of transactions to the Apple Store. Many over hundreds of dollars that have been there. Were those your transactions?
No.
Phil finally had a statement on the bank leaks. Here, he pivoted from stating that bank leaks were not accurate, that they were related to the identity theft, then to that the bank leaks were not him at all and were entirely manufactured. None of Phil's statements throughout this entire interview were very convincing. But Craig quickly thought of a way to try to prove some of this.
Find this, but just confidentially between us.
Oh
you
yeah.
Send me a screenshot of your account, of your WWE account, and just so I personally, I will not share your name to anybody, but just between us.
Man, I have to think about
and vouch for you.
Yeah, and I will vouch for you either way.
I have to think about what kind of risk that. I don't want to say. Here's the thing, I'll consider it, but I can't agree to it yet. I have to see exactly what's the risk.
Before Phil could fully commit to sending a screenshot of his WWE Champions account, his internet cut out.
Let's circle back. Back with you on Phil. Phil, you still there? You look like you're frozen.
Did we lose him?
I hope not.
With Phil gone, even for just about 5 minutes, the offer to send the screenshots was off the table as he could have created or manufactured a fake account. Another consequence of Phil's short disappearance was that the host had Keemstar join in the place of Phil. Keemstar was particularly relevant, not so much for the drama that was going on between him and Phil, but because Keemstar was trying to launch a new podcast known as the Lolcow Podcast, and was previously trying to get Phil on board with a $50,000 deal that as long as Phil joined, the same deal would be extended to the other two potential co-hosts. So the conversation was not so much about Phil and Keemstar, though there was plenty of that, it was about the money. It was that though Phil constantly petitions for donations, he would not accept a deal that provides what would normally be life-changing money.
The algorithm like sent his live stream in my feed, so I tune into it. And I'm telling you, the minute I tuned in, I saw Phil begging for money to pay rent and utilities, and I just lost it in his chat. I'm like, I cannot believe that like you're doing this right now. 2 weeks ago, I was trying to get a hold of you, offering you the greatest opportunity you've ever been offered in your entire career.
The Lolcow Podcast was eventually made without Phil's attendance, and without the $50,000 offer to the other two co-hosts, which also turned them against Phil. There is some speculation that Phil refused the $50,000 because if he openly received such a large sum, he would not be able to pretend to be in such a rough spot financially. However, that is not entirely the case, as the dedication of his fans is underestimated. So if it came out true that Phil was, like, I guess, addicted to that one app, because I don't know if it is, right? I'm trying to find, like, what's going on, and I can't find anyone saying anything solid, pretty much. There's no solid evidence that proves anything, like, 100%. But if it did come out, would it not change anything for you?
I mean, I feel a bit hurt, because he does often say, I'm low on money this month and all that.
So, but you'd still, like, probably, like, watch him, or just you'd be disappointed, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
And that's where Phil currently is. He is in a place of changing hate and admiration that to certain degrees are both undeserved. He rants for hours on end to deaf ears and exists to be mocked. He has what would be anyone else's dream job, but in his case, it's a nightmare. His donations are only to...
Okay, we're wrapping up on this here. I can just say for a fact, do not envy this man. Because, yes, he's riding high. He makes 6 figures a year, but it's at the expense of his fucking dignity to sit there and beg and cry for hours on end. And, like, who wants to live like that? Not me.
Increasing as fans are rarely gained, and enemies are constantly swelling in ranks. Phil is touted for his survivability online when compared to other creators. But the truth is, he has made so many enemies of content creators, his channel was bound to statistically outlive some of them. He has made possibly over $1 million, yet has nothing to show for it, and is now uploading multi-hour-long videos daily for pennies. He has practically nothing to show for anything. There is only hate, contempt, and displeasure. And being that the only people that interact with him daily, sans his wife, are those utterly obsessed with his life, Phil will continue to curtail his personality around these people who do not represent a healthy reality, as he continues to hold on to what shred of his online career he can grasp.
And there you go. So that only covered, I think this came out like 4 months ago. Like, there's really no other sagas left for Phil. It's just the constant downhill of just... Well, I guess like the Kino Casino thing is like the most recent thing. Like, I don't know if they're playing a long game or they're playing a short game or what. But, yeah. Okay, just real briefly, I just want to see where he's at right now. $11. Oh, we got a new clone. Okay.
Ran through
Yes,
a full
but
auto
so
LMG and didn't die.
It's just as bad though, right? Or possibly worse. But yeah, I'm adding a new clone for DSP's new stance on.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Oh, he's blaming skill-based matchmaking on his problems. All right. I don't know what else I can put on here. Hang on. Because I didn't think we'd be able to finish the whole thing. Let's see what else I have on the docket, maybe. As I try to figure out how the fuck this head's supposed to go on. I'm gonna put on did we finish the Screw Attack top 10s? You think so? Yeah, snow levels were the last one. Oh, well, I'll keep it on this screen and I'll just... Because I honestly don't know what else to put on. There. Oh, I'm trying to get this on, but it's being a bitch. Dropping pieces. Gotta get closer here. I gotta suck. Prime Video's recommended me Highlander 2 in the source. Don't watch it! Trust me. Or watch it, I don't care. Maybe Spoonie's wrong. All I know is I've never seen them and I've seen Spoonie's reviews and it's like complete and utter betrayal. There we go. I think I might have this on backwards. Yeah. Ooh. That was a good snap. Yeah. One piece backwards over there. You did read the whole, you really read the plot is weird. Okay, so what's, I think it was, what was that, Spoonie? Yeah. Which one of the, oh wait, no. Highlander 2, The Quickening. I don't think you can get that version online anymore. Or that version, because they've retconned it. They did the Renegade cut. So it has nothing to do with aliens and the planet Geist or Zeist. A3. Wait. E12. E217. And A3. Keep dropping pieces. At least this one's red. But it's super tiny. God. Found it! It's such a tight piece. Oh. Hang on. Which game is this from? This is Kingdom Hearts, isn't it? Yeah. This is surely gonna get me muted on YouTube. Legacy's Wars is still going? Is that the mobile game? Bari Little Ronzo. I saw a tweet about a new character being added. Ooh, really? We're gonna need more light for this. And my stubby fingers. There it is. Oh no, my fingers. Don't look at my fingers. Don't judge. I work with chemicals a lot today. There we go. We got the body done. And other than that little piece there, which I need to fix, I think it looks pretty good. So next up will be his back, because the next part will be the wings. So if I'm looking through the book, if at the wings... Oh god, there's so many more pages. You got the regular ass wings, and then you've got his bird mode, what they call bird mode, which is basically how he transforms into his jet mode. And we got the blaster, the shield, the beam sabers. He needs another hand for that. And then the next few pages are just basically telling you how to transform him into his burp mode. But yeah, what do we think? The Gundam models are really, really hard to put together, I'm finding. I think next one, like I have Wing Zero Custom. And it's not the... Oh god. Let me double check and make sure it's not the Endless Waltz version. Because if it's the Endless Waltz version, that's going to take me like months. Because that's got angel wings. it's just the standard one. So yeah, I got Wing Zero Custom. But it's not the Endless Waltz version. The Endless Waltz version is the one where it's just like... That's got wings to it. Because they wanted to have Hiro be able to flap his wings to get back to Earth and not transform into a jet. But it still has the sickest animation when he's trying to bomb the bunker to get to Relina. All right, I'm gonna just put him away safely. Back in the box. And we'll pick him up another night and then figure out something to do. My reaction videos live. Yeah, I saw that. And Bill's up, probably doing a beg tweet. He should not be beg tweeting because he hit his fucking goal and then some today. He sees a lot of money. Oh, I forgot to put the book back in. $32 in support. Okay, I was kind of curious. What's he bitching about? Led, what's he bitching about?
And see how we do
Would you
with
have to make some sort of gout bullet?
a bunch of levels with it so we can get akimbo full auto handguns, because I had akimbo single shot handguns and they suck ass. Okay, here we go.
They suck ass.
All right, let's go, Phil. Let's get some wins. Good teams. Hell yeah.
Alrighty, everybody. Time for hour 2 of Black Ops
Tino, please.
6 tonight. I am now using the what is it called?
Just said 2 seconds ago.
I wouldn't want to turn into a werewolf.
Handgun.
It's a wolf that knows what's going on.
Exclusively trying to level it up so I can do dual wielding akimbo.
Do the hand gesture
with
again,
this.
DSP.
Akimbo
I interpreted that as a threat.
Okay, look at this. I don't know if this will get me banned on YouTube, but... See, this is... Oh, yeah, like, look at the animation on this when Hiro shows up in Wing Zero. This is fucking sick.
Another Gundam confirmed, sir. It's in the sky.
What? Your shelter is secure, is it?
Of course it is. See for yourself just how powerless you are.
Roger that.
He's cracking.
All the serpents here. Shoot.
What a...
Oh, wait, is someone... Oh no, he's breaking it apart because he's trying to get... He's putting all his power into the blast to get to Relina.
Don't you...
Oh, there's the song. I was waiting for the song. It's like... Fucking epic. I need to watch Gundam sometime. Gundam's good. Defund DSP. It's not gonna happen. There's gonna be at least 4 or 5 people that will always give him money. You can't help it. Where's Epion? Epion was the largest story. This is the OVA that happened after Gundam Wing was wrapped. Because they're all like, oh, we don't need weapons. We're all pacifists now. And then comes I don't know if that's Trace's daughter or Zex's daughter. It's someone's daughter, but they're like, nah, I now that you've destroyed all your Gundams, I rule this planet now. Because like everyone was like, oh yeah, we don't need Gundams anymore. We saved the Earth. And they launched all their Gundams into the sun, but then they managed to save them. But Hiro launched it to a different sun or something, so he had to, take off after it. Gundam Wing's great. Oh, I have to leave you on this. Before we go, I have to leave you on this.
Are 4-leaf clovers actually real?
He's flying over Dublin Ireland, and he's like, "Are four-leaf clovers really real?"
Or is it just like a thing that's made up to represent luck, but it's meant for like culture? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if four-leaf clovers are actually real.
Oh,
Phil, you make me angry, Phil.
Jesus Christ, Phil. All right. So we got progress was made. We got the arms done on. The wing zero, the wing Gundam. I'm happy with that. We got through the documentary, so that means we gotta find something else to watch. Definitely try to find something non-DSP related. I would say, let's see if we can get a screw attack doc in there, but no one wants to make one. And when they do, Craig cries, "It's not representative. Let me do a special interview proving my innocence and how cool I am." Yeah. So I'm gonna hear that there. Oh yeah. So Pence is now in WWE, but where's Ray Phoenix Jr.? He's stuck in AEW for a while right now. He'll hang out with the cool screw attack people at MechFest. Yeah. Because the other ones don't want anything to do. Because the other ones don't want anything to do with it. Which, good on him. Oh wow, Streamlabs allows you to multi-stream to kick and everything else. No thanks. Oh, TJ Gamebox, you troll. One last thing that was like bye. So this popped up. At the EVO Awards, we'll welcome 3 players into the EVO Hall of Fame. They'll join Daigo and Justin Wong, who became the inaugural members after receiving their Impact Awards at EVO 2024. The first 2 inductees will be revealed during tomorrow's EVO show announcement. And of course, TJ puts this up. There's a 4th place himself. Mr. Backpain. Fancy jumping to AEW because Tony added injury time to his contract. That's so stupid. Let him go. I don't think they did that with okay. I gotta go up and chill for a little bit there. I'm off tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I might just do a rando retro stream. Haven't done those. I still need to test out and get a Saturn emulator working. Oh, I also show these off. I got these for a build stream soon. Star Trek metal ships. So I got a Bird of Prey and a Vorcha class battle cruiser. I got these a couple years ago in Halifax when we went to a con. like metal folding. Yeah, they are nice. I really want to try them out. Yeah, so random retro, if at all tomorrow, we'll see.
Do not come. Do not come.
Love it. All right, y'all have a good night. Stay safe. Thanks again, Shenzo, for the raid. I should probably take a photo of the Gundam. Just to show off progress. All right, I'll do that. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe. And I will see you all tomorrow, perhaps. If not, may not. I'm not sure yet. Anyways, good night.